الذين هم لفروجهم حافظون إلا على أزواجهم أو ما ملكت أيمانهم فإنهم غير ملومين فمن ابتغى وراء ذلك فأولئك هم العادون والذين هم لأماناتهم وعهدهم راعون والذين هم على صلواتهم يحافظون أولئك هم الوارثون الذين يرثون الفردوس هم فيها خالدون رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي أستغفر الله ربنا من كل ذنب ونتوب إليك ربنا زدنا علما اللهم يسر ولا تعسر وتمم بالخير يا فتاح يا فتاح يا فتاح اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته Surah An-Nur we begin. Surah An-Nur means the believers, because the first ayah begins talking about the qualities of the believers. It says the believers who are successful. That's what this surah is named, the believers. And the Prophet ﷺ says to the companions that I have received 10 ayat, and he says whoever follows it will enter into Jannah. Whoever applies those ayat and follows it will enter into Jannah. And these are the first 10 ayat of Surah An-Nur that we are about to begin. And in this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala highlights 6 qualities of a true believer. We begin, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, it's a Makki surah. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ In fact, the believers have already been, have succeeded. They are successful indeed, the believers. الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ Who are the believers? They are those who have khushu' in their salah. They are submissive in salah. What does khushu' mean? Khushu' is a kind of fear in the heart that lowers our bodies, right? Our body parts are lowered because this fear, we understand the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and there's a fear that is developed. Because of that, all our body parts are lowered. And khushu' comes with the Quran. Like in Tarawih, when you listen to the Quran, in Salah, when you listen to the Quran, that's where through Quran the khushu' comes. And the Prophet ﷺ says the reward for salah depends on one's khushu'. That greater your khushu', greater the reward of salah. So Allah says first thing is that they have khushu' in their salah. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنِ اللَّغْوِ مُعْرِضُونَ And there are those people who turn away from vain, useless talks, backbiting, gossips, useless and vain talks just without any purpose. And the Prophet ﷺ says, the one who avoids useless talks, his name will be written among the illiyin, among the people in the register of good people. And the third quality Allah mentions of these people, وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِلزَّكَاةِ فَاعِلُونَ And there are those who give zakah constantly. Constantly they give zakah. And zakah, we know, purifies wealth. And that's the third quality. And number 4, Allah says, وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِفُرُوجِهِمْ حَافِظُونَ And there are those who guard their private parts. حَافِظُونَ To abstain from any unlawful sexual enjoyment. And to guard private parts also means to cover them and to have a decent and modest clothing. إِلَّا عَلَى أَزْوَاجِهِمْ And the only exception is عَلَى أَزْوَاجِهِمْ that they can indulge and enjoy with their partners. أَوْ مَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُهُمْ or their slave mates. فَإِنَّهُمْ غَيْرُ مَلُومِينَ Then they will not be blamed for that. فَمَنِ ابْتَغَى وَرَاءَ ذَلِكَ And whoever seeks beyond that, whoever seeks for sexual enjoyment beyond their spouse and the slave mates, then وَرَاءَ ذَلِكَ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْعَادُونَ Then those are the transgressors. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ This is the fourth quality of these people. They guard their private parts. Number 5, وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِأَمَانَاتِهِمْ وَعَهْدِهِمْ راعون They're those who keep their trust and their covenants. They keep up the promises that they made. And number 6, Allah mentions وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَلَى صَلَوَاتِهِمْ يُحَافِظُونَ And they're those who guard their salah. These 6 qualities, Allah begins with salah and ends with salah. Salah is the most important, and they guard their salah. What that means is between each salah, from one salah to the next salah, they make sure they don't commit any of these evil, so that they waste the reward of those salah. To guard the salah means to not let the reward of that salah go waste. على صلاتهم يحافظون أولئك هم الوارثون. Those are indeed the ones who are going to inherit. Inherit what? الذين يرثون الفردوس. They're going to inherit جنة الفردوس, the highest level. هم فيها خالدون. They're going to remain in Jannah forever and ever. ولقد خلقنا الإنسان من سلالة من طين. And indeed we created man from a breed of clay. ثم جعلناه نطفة. Then he set him and made him from a drop of liquid في قرار مكين, and we placed that in a resting place. We place it secure somewhere inside, which is the womb of the mother. So that drop goes and is secured in the womb. ثم خلقنا النطفة علقة. Then we make the drop into a sticking clot. فخلقنا العلقة مضغة. And we made the clot into a fleshy lump. وخلقنا المضغة عظاما. And we made that lump into bones. فكسونا العظام لحما. And then we clothed the bones with the flesh. ثم أنشأناه خلقا آخر. And then we made him into a different creation. Then the ruh was blown into it, and he was formed into a different creation. And when Umar radiallahu anhu heard this human development and how the baby is formed, he says, فَتَبَارَكَ اللَّهُ أَحْسَنُ الْخَالِقِينَ. How blessed is Allah, the best of creators. As soon as he says that, ayat revealed, فَتَبَارَكَ اللَّهُ أَحْسَنُ الْخَالِقِينَ. How blessed is Allah, the best of creators. That's what Umar radiallahu anhu could predict, before. So that ayah came right when he said it. So he praises Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when he hears about human embryology. ثُمَّ إِنَّكُمْ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ لَمَيِّتُونَ. Then indeed you after that will be made to die. And you will die. ثُمَّ إِنَّكُمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ تُبْعَثُونَ. Then you will be resurrected and brought towards us. Ayah number 17, Surah Al-Muminoon. وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا فَوْقَكُمْ. And we created above you سَبْعَ طَرَائِقَ, 7 ways, seven heavens. وَمَا كُنَّا عَنِ الْخَلْقِ غَافِلِينَ. And we are not unmindful of the creation. وَأَنزَلْنَا مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً بِقَدَرٍ. And we sent down water in measure. Exactly, every drop is calculated. Who will get what is all بِقَدَرٍ. مَاءً بِقَدَرٍ is it's completely measured. فَأَسْكَنَّاهُ فِي الْأَرْضِ. And we made the water enter into the earth. وَإِنَّ عَلَى ذَهَابٍ بِهِ لَقَادِرُونَ. And we are capable of taking that water away. If you want, we can remove it. And here, Allah, in some parts there's a lack of water, there's scarcity of water, and why that happens is because Allah is capable of removing it when people commit sins. So when we see some lands don't have water, pure water, and those disasters and difficulties come because of people's sin. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has allotted that water, equal amount to every region, so that everybody can drink from it. But it's our own deeds that affect the water in our city. فَأَنْشَأْنَا لَكُمْ بِهِ جَنَّاتٍ. And then we produce through that water jannat, gardens, مِن نَخِيلٍ, of date palms, وَأَعْنَابٍ, and grapes. لَكُمْ فِيهَا فَوَاكِهُ كَثِيرًا. And through it you have different kinds of fruits. وَمِنْهَا تَأْكُلُونَ. And among them you also eat. وَشَجَرَةٌ. And also شَجَرَةٌ تَخْرُجُ مِنْ طُورِ سَيْنَاءٍ. And through that water Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also brings out a tree of the mountain of Sinai. طُورِ سَيْنَاء, in the mountain of Sinai. تَنْبُتُ بِالدُّهْنِ, which grows this kind of oil. وَصِبْغٍ لِلْآكِلِينَ. And it is used as a food for those who consume. And Allah is saying through that water, same water, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives rise to olive trees. On Mount Sinai, He gives rise to olive trees, and its roots are deep and it's always evergreen. And this tree, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, has a kind of oil, the olive, the oil that comes out of it, it can be used as a dish. And we know that if you go in the Arab lands in Palestine, you can see this, people eat that oil as a dish, as a side dish. وَإِنَّ لَكُمْ فِي الْأَنْعَامِ لَعِبْرًا. Verily, Allah says, in the cattle there is a great lesson for you. نُسْقِيكُم مِّمَّا فِي بُطُونِهَا. And we give you a drink from its stomach. The milk we give you from its stomachs. وَلَكُمْ فِيهَا مَنَافِعُ كَثِيرًا. And you have many benefits from the cattle. وَمِنْهَا تَأْكُلُونَ. And you also eat from it. وَعَلَيْهَا وَعَلَى الْفُلْكِ تُحْمَلُونَ. And on them you use the cattle and the ships to move. You're carried on these cattle and also on the ship. These are all some of the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ayah number 23, Surah Al-Muminoon. وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا نُوحًا إِلَىٰ قَوْمِهِ. Talking about ships, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about Nuh alayhi salam. So وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا نُوحًا إِلَىٰ قَوْمِهِ. And in fact we sent down Nuh alayhi salam to his nation. فَقَالَ يَا قَوْمِ. He said to his nation, اُعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مَا لَكُمْ مِنْ إِلَٰهٍ غَيْرُهُ. Worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have no one worthy of worship except Him. أَفَلَا تَتَّقُونَ Will you not guard yourself? فَقَالَ الْمَلَأُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا So the chieftains of those of his nation who disbelieved said, مِنْ قَوْمِهِ مَا هَذَا إِلَّا بَشَرٌ مِثْلُكُمْ This is nothing, just a human being like you. يُرِيدُ أَن يَتَفَضَّلَ عَلَيْكُمْ He wants to have precedence over you. He wants to gain power over you. وَلَوْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ لَأَنزَلَ مَلَائِكَةً مَا سَمِعْنَا بِهَذَا فِي آبَائِنَا الْأَوَّلِينَ They say that had Allah willed, He would have sent an angel. He would not have sent a human being. And we have never heard this with our forefathers. Our forefathers never talked about human beings coming as messengers. This is a strange thing. Do not follow the messenger Nuh alayhi salam. إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا رَجُلٌ بِهِ جِنَّةٌ They say that this guy is mad. He has gone crazy. فَتَرَبَّصُوا بِهِ حَتَّى حِينٍ Wait until he gets cured. He's just crazy right now. Wait till he gets cured. Then everything will make sense. قَالَ Nuh alayhi salam speaks out. رَبِّ انصُرْنِي My Lord, help me. بِمَا كَذَّبُونَ Against what they disbelieve in. فَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْهِ So we revealed to Nuh alayhi salam أَنْ يَصْنَعِ الْفُلْكَ بِأَعْيُنِنَا That you should build a ship under our supervision. Under supervision means we will teach you where each nail will go, how to make the ship, everything will teach you. And this is where marine engineering comes in, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teaches Nuh alayhi salam بِأَعْيُنِنَا under our supervision. Number 27, وَوَحْيِنَا And under our instruction, فَإِذَا جَاءَ أَمْرُنَا And when our command comes, وَفَارَ التَّنُّورِ And tannoor will overflow. And tannoor is like an oven, it's a pit used for baking bread. So Allah is saying, even that place will start overflowing with water, meaning water will come from all directions, from underground. وَفَارَ التَّنُّورِ فَاسْلُكْ فِيهَا مِنْ كُلٍّ زَوْجَيْنِ اثْنَيْنِ As soon as you see water overflowing, that's a sign that you should get all creatures in pairs in the ship. من كل زوجين وأهلك إلا من سبق عليه القول ومن آمن. And you should take everybody in pair, and also you take your family with you, except for the one who has already preceded. Meaning, except for the one whom the punishment is already due, for his wife and his son. His wife and his son, they did not accept his message, so except for them, take your family with you. وَلَا تُخَاطِبِنِي فِي الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا Do not address me and do not ask me for their forgiveness of those people who have wronged. إِنَّهُمْ مُغْرَقُونَ They are going to be drowned. فَإِذَا اسْتَوَيْتَ أَنْتَ وَمَنْ مَعَكَ And when you were settled, you and whoever was with you, عَلَى الْفُلْكِ in the ship. When you were on the ship, فَقُلْ Then say, Alhamdulillah, all praise and thanks is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, الَّذِي نَجَّانَا مِنَ الْقَوْمِ الظَّالِمِينَ The one who rescued us from the transgressing people. وَقُلْ رَبِّ أَنزِلْنِي مُنْزَلًا So then the ship went and then continued, and then after 40 days, what happened? After 40 days, what happens is he has to come down, and then he's told to make this dua, Rabbi anzilni munzala mubarakan Oh my master, help me come down to a safe place, a place of landing which is full of blessing. Wa anta khairul munzilin And you are the best of those who bring down. And this can be a good dua when the flight is landing, right? Ya Allah, Rabbi anzilni munzala mubarakan wa anta khairul munzilin Bring me down, land me to a place of blessing. You're the best of those who land. Inna fi dhalika la ayatin wa in kunna lamubtalin Verily in it are many miraculous signs. Wa in kunna lamubtalin And we are going to surely put you to test. ثُمَّ أَنْشَأْنَا مِنْ بَعْدِهِمْ قَرْنًا آخَرِينَ Then after Nuh alayhi salam, we raised a nation after them, قَرْنًا آخَرِينَ Another generation. This is the nation of Ad. فَأَرْسَلْنَا فِيهِمْ رَسُولًا مِنْهُمْ And we sent among them a messenger from them, أَنْ يَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مَا لَكُمْ مِنْ إِلَهٍ غَيْرُهُ That, and the message of this messenger was that you worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, مَا لَكُمْ مِنْ إِلَهٍ غَيْرُهُ You have no gods besides Him. أَفَلَا تَتَّقُونَ Will you not guard yourself? وَقَالَ الْمَلَأُ مِنْ قَوْمِهِ And chieftains of from his nation said, الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا كَذَّبُوا بِلِقَاءِ الْآخِرَةِ وَأَتْرَفْنَاهُمْ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا So these people whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given a lot of luxuries of this world. And they are those people who are chieftains and they were disbelievers in the meeting of the hereafter. They spoke up. So here we see that أَتْرَفْنَاهُمْ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيا That people with luxuries always have hard time believing in the truth. They're always away from the truth. When there's a lot of dunya, when there's a lot of wealth and luxuries of this dunya, they don't want to accept because they are involved in their own desires and luxuries. So they spoke up and they said, "Ma hada illa basharun mithlukum." This is nothing but a human being like you. يَأْكُلُ مِمَّا تَأْكُلُونَ مِنْ, and he eats just like you eat. وَيَشْرَبُ مِمَّا تَشْرَبُونَ, and he drinks what you drink. He's just an ordinary human being. He's not something special. وَلَئِنْ أَطَعْتُمْ بَشَرًا مِثْلَكُمْ, and if you obey a human being like you, إِنَّكُمْ إِذًا لَخَاسِرُونَ, then you are going to be losers. أَيَعِدُكُمْ, does he promise you, أَنَّكُمْ إِذَا مِتْتُمْ, that when you die, وَكُنْتُمْ تُرَابًا وَعِظَامًا, and when you become dust and bones, أَنَّكُمْ مُخْرَجُونَ, that you'll be brought back to life? Is this what he's saying? هَيْهَاتَ هَيْهَاتَ لِمَا تُوعَدُونَ. Hayhat is an expression to show how preposterous, far from truth, impossible. How is this possible? هَيْهَاتَ هَيْهَاتَ لِمَا تُوعَدُونَ. Impossible is what you are promised. In hiya illa hayatuna dunya. This is nothing but a worldly life. Namutu wa nahya. We will die and we will live in this dunya. وَمَا نَحْنُ بِمَبْعُوثِينَ, and we will not be resurrected. This is it. You only live once, enjoy your life, and you'll die, and that's it. You'll turn to dust, nothing else. إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا رَجُلٌ اِفْتَرَى عَلَى اللَّهِ كَذِبًا. He is just a man who has fabricated, he has made up lies against Allah. وَمَا نَحْنُ لَهُ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ, and we are not going to give in to him, we will not believe in him. قَالَ رَبِّ انصُرْنِي بِمَا كَذَّبُونَ. So Hud alayhi salam says, my master, help me against what they are rejecting me in. قال, so Allah says, عَمَّا قَلِيلٍ لَيُصْبِحُنَّ نَادِمِينَ. After a little while, you will see that they are remorseful. Soon you will see the punishment, and they will be remorseful and regretful for what they have done. فَأَخَذَتْهُمُ الصَّيْحَةُ, and a blast seized them بِالْحَقِّ, rightly. فَجَعَلْنَاهُمْ غُثَاءً, and we made them into scum. We made them into this froth which were useless. غُثَاءً فَبُعْدًا لِلْقَوْمِ الظَّالِمِينَ. So away with the people of transgression. ثُمَّ أَنْشَأْنَا مِنْ بَعْدِهِمْ قَرْنًا آخَرِينَ. After him, we brought another nation. مَا تَسْبِقُ مِنْ أُمَّةٍ أَجَلَهَا وَمَا يَسْتَأْخِرُونَ. No nation can precede its time or can delay its time. That when the punishment comes, it comes exactly on time, and no one can ما تسبق, ayah number 43, Surah An-Nur. ما تسبق من أمة أجلها وما يستأخرون. No nation can advance its time or delay its time. When the punishment comes, it's going to come exactly at that time. ثم أرسلنا رسلنا تترى. Then after that, we send messengers in succession. Salih alayhi salam and many messengers came after them. كلما جاء أمة رسولها. Every single time the messenger, their messenger comes to them, to the people, كذبوه, they would deny the messenger. فَأَتْبَعْنَا بَعْضَهُمْ بَعْضًا, and they would follow each other. وَجَعَلْنَاهُمْ أَحَادِيث, and we made them into tales. Meaning all they were was just stories, and they just remained as people in the books, in history books, and that's it. Nothing remained of them after that. When they rejected, they only became words, and they only lived in the books of history. وَجَعَلْنَاهُمْ أَحَادِيث فَبُعْدًا لِقَوْمٍ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. So away with the people who does not believe. ثُمَّ أَرْسَلْنَا مُوسَى وَأَخَاهُ هَارُونَ بِآيَاتِنَا وَسُلْطَانٍ مُبِينٍ. Then we sent Musa alayhi salam and his brother Harun alayhi salam with clear signs, وَسُلْطَانٍ مُبِينٍ, and a clear authority. إِلَى فِرْعَوْنَ وَمَلَئِهِ, to Fir'aun and his chiefs. فَاسْتَكْبَرُوا, and they became arrogant. وَكَانُوا قَوْمًا عَالِينَ, and they were people who thought high of themselves. فَقَالُوا, they said, أَنُؤْمِنُ لِبَشَرَيْنِ مِثْلِنَا, should we believe in the two human beings like us? لِبَشَرَيْنِ مِثْلِنَا وَقَوْمُهُمَا لَنَا عَابِدُونَ, and should we believe in these while their people are subservient to us, that we have control over them? Should we believe in these guys? فَكَذَّبُوهُمَا, so they rejected both of them, Harun and Musa. فَكَانُوا مِنَ الْمُهْلَكِينَ, and they were among those who were destroyed. وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا مُوسَى الْكِتَابَ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَهْتَدُونَ, and we gave Musa alayhi salam the book so that they may be guided. وَجَعَلْنَا ابْنَ مَرْيَمَ وَأُمَّهُ آيَةً وَآوَيْنَاهُمَا إِلَى رَبْوَةٍ ذَاتِ قَرَارٍ وَمَعِينٍ. And we made the son of Maryam salam and his mother, Isa salam and Maryam salam, as a sign, and we rescued them. We gave them shelter to a high place, which is Bayt al-Maqdis, to that place, وَذَاتِ قَرَارٍ مَعِينٍ, a place that had stability and water springs. It was rich and wealthy city. We sheltered them to that city. Ya ayyuha rusul, O messengers, kulu min al-tayyibat, eat from the good things, wa'malu salihah, and do righteous deeds. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bringing different messengers and what happened to them in the past, to the people who rejected them. And then the command is given to the messengers, you should do good deeds, but before doing good deeds, what does Allah say? Kulu min al-tayyibat. Eat from the good things and do righteous deeds. What we see here is that you are what you eat. If you eat, then there will be light all around us, within us, around us, and you will see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah's light in the heavens and the earth throughout. Right? We pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes us like these people. We begin the next surah, inshallah, just going to begin the surah, Surah Al-Furqan. Surah Al-Furqan is a Makki surah, and the subject matter is very much like Surah Al-Muminoon. So now, it's not Madani, so you have to go back to Makkah, right? So that's how the surah has changed. So you have to put yourself in Makki surah. The focus is Tawheed, believe in one God. Mushrikeen is the audience. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. تبارك الذي نزل الفرقان على عبده ليكون للعالمين نذيرا. Blessed is the one who sent down the Furqan on his servant. This Quran, the other name of Quran is Furqan. It differentiates between good and bad. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who sent down the Furqan on his servant ليكون للعالمين نذيرا, so that this servant can be a warner for all people. الذي له ملك السماوات والأرض, to the one to whom belongs the dominion of the heavens and the earth. وَلَمْ يَتَّخِذْ وَلَدًا, and he has not taken any son. وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ شَرِيكٌ فِي الْمُلْكِ, and he has no partners in his dominion. وَخَلَقَ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ, and he created every single thing. فَقَدَّرَهُ تَقْدِيرًا, and he has assigned and measured everything. وَاتَّخَذُوا مِن دُونِهِ آلِهَةً, and they take gods besides Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لَا يَخْلُقُونَ شَيْئًا, they don't create anything. وَهُمْ يُخْلَقُونَ, while they themselves are created. وَلَا يَمْلِكُونَ لِأَنفُسِهِمْ ضَرًّا, they have no power to harm themselves, وَلَا نَفْعًا, or benefit themselves. وَلَا يَمْلِكُونَ مَوْتًا وَلَا حَيَاةً وَلَا نُشُورًا, these idols don't have any power to give death or life or resurrection. وَقَالَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, those people who disbelieve, they say, إِنْ هَذَا إِلَّا إِفْكٌ افْتَرَاهُ وَأَعَانَهُ عَلَيْهِ قَوْمٌ آخَرُونَ. They look at the Quran and they say that this is just a fabrication, a lie which he made up, the Prophet made up. Or actually what happened is other nation helped him to put this Quran together. فَقَدْ جَاءُوا ظُلْمًا وَزُورًا, they have committed an injustice and a lie. وَقَالُوا, and they say, أَسَاطِيرُ الْأَوَّلِينَ, these are legends, old stories of the past. اِكْتَتَبَهَا, which he had copied from someone. فَهِيَ تُمْلَى عَلَيْهِ بُكْرَةً وَأَصِيلًا, or it is something that's dictated onto him morning and evening. That someone is dictating to him and he's just copying it from there. And it is a copy. He's copying from Jibreel alayhi salam. He's reading, coming morning and evening. Right? They were right. قُلْ أَنزَلَهُ الَّذِي يَعْلَمُ السِّرَّ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ, say, the one who knows the secret of the heavens and the earth, he is the one who sent it down. إِنَّهُ كَانَ غَفُورًا رَحِيمًا, verily Allah is most forgiving and most merciful. وَقَالُوا, they say, مَا لِهَذَا الرَّسُولِ, what's wrong with this messenger? يَأْكُلُ الطَّعَامِ وَيَمْشِي فِي الْأَسْوَاقِ, he eats food and he walks in the marketplaces. For them, a messenger has to be an angel who has to be special, with special powers, and a messenger has to be rich, like the Persian kings who live in palaces, not walk in the marketplaces with everybody. وَيَمْشِي فِي الْأَسْوَاقِ لَوْلَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْهِ مَلَكٌ, why isn't an angel come down to him? فَيَكُونَ مَعَهُ نَذِيرًا, so that he can be a warner with him. Where is the angel guarding him against us? أَوْ يُلْقَى إِلَيْهِ كَنْزٌ, or how come no treasure has come on him? How come he's not rich? أَوْ تَكُونَ لَهُ جَنَّةٌ يَأْكُلُ مِنْهَا, how come he doesn't have gardens with which he eats from? وَقَالَ الظَّالِمُونَ, the transgressors say, إِن تَتَّبِعُونَ إِلَّا رَجُلًا مَسْحُورًا, you're only following a man who is bewitched, who is, he's crazy and he's possessed by jinn. انظر كيف ضربوا لك الأمثال, look how they give examples. Sometimes they call him a poet, sometimes they call him a insane, sometimes they call him mad. فضلوا فلا يستطيعون سبيلا, they have gone astray from the straight path, they will not find the right path. تبارك الذي Blessed is the one, in sha'a ja'ala laka khayran min dhalik. If he wants, he would have given you better than that. Jannatin tajri min tahti al-anhar, gardens under which rivers flow. Wa yaj'al laka qusura, and he would have given you palaces. Like these people are saying that how come the Prophet ﷺ does not have rich gardens and palaces? Allah is saying if he wanted, he would have given you more than what they're asking about. Because the Prophet ﷺ was given the option, Ya Rasulullah, if you want, you can become the richest person on earth and not lose your reward in the hereafter, or remain poor and get your reward in the hereafter. And the Prophet ﷺ says, I will choose the second option. I want to be a humble servant of yours. He chose the second option. So Allah could have given him a lot of riches. That's what Allah is saying. Allah would have given him more than what you're telling him. بَلْ كَذَّبُوا بِالسَّاعَةِ, rather they denied the hour, the final hour. وَأَعْتَدْنَا لِمَنْ كَذَّبَ بِالسَّاعَةِ سَعِيرًا, and whoever denies the final hour, we have prepared a blazing fire for that person. إِذَا رَأَتْهُم مِّن مَكَانٍ بَعِيدٍ, and when you see Jahannam from a far place, سَمِعُوا لَهَا تَغَيُّظًا وَزَفِيرًا, you will hear, it's really far, but the sound is so loud that you can hear from far. So تَغَيُّظًا, it's fury and roar, that you can see the anger of Jahannam, and you can see it's like, calling and roaring, right? إِذَا أُلْقُوا مِنْهَا مَكَانًا ضَيِّقٍ, and when they will be thrown into a constricted place in Jahannam, مُقَرَّنِينَ, they're then put together, دَعَوْا هُنَالِكَ ثُبُورًا, as soon as they're thrown into Jahannam, they will call out for thubur, kill me now, just kill me, I don't want to face this punishment, it's too difficult. دَعَوْا ثُبُورًا, Allah will say what? لَا تَدُعُوا الْيَوْمَ ثُبُورًا وَاحِدٍ, do not call for one death, don't ask for one death today. وَدُعُوا ثُبُورًا كَثِيرًا, ask for many, many deaths, because you'll be given life and death, and this will go on forever. قُلْ أَذَلِكَ خَيْرٌ, is that better? Jahannam, is that better? أَمْ جَنَّةُ الْخُلْدِ, or Jannah of eternity, garden of eternity, الَّتِي وُعِدَ الْمُتَّقُونَ, which we have promised for the people who have taqwa, the people who guard themselves from Allah's anger and from hellfire in dunya. كَانَتْ لَهُمْ جَزَاءٌ وَمَصِيرًا, they will have a reward and a good destination. لَهُمْ فِيهَا مَا يَشَاءُونَ خَالِدِينَ, they will have whatever they wish, they will live forever and ever. كَانَ عَلَى رَبِّكَ وَعْدًا مَسْئُولًا, this is a promise on us. We will take care of this. وَعْدًا مَسْئُولًا, a promise that will be fulfilled. وَيَوْمَ يَحْشُرُهُمْ, and the day when He will gather them. وَمَا يَعْبُدُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ, and whatever they worship besides Allah. فَيَقُول, they will say, so He will say, أَأَنْتُمْ أَضْلَلْتُمْ عِبَادِي هَؤُلَاءِ, He will tell the angel, the idols and those false gods, did you mislead my servants? Or even Jesus, right? Isa as-salam, did you mislead my servant? أَمْ هُمْ ضَلُّوا السَّبِيلِ, or did they stray away from the straight path themselves? قالوا, they will say, Subhanak, you are perfect. ما كان ينبغي لنا, it is not befitting for us أن نتخذ من دونك أولياء, that we take besides you any guardian, any protective friend. ولكن متعتهم آباءهم وآباءهم, however, Ya Allah, you gave them a lot of luxuries and made them enjoy, and their forefathers, to the point حتى نسوا الذكر وكانوا قوما بورا, that you gave them so much wealth, and that wealth, Ya Allah, they were immersed in it and they forgot, and they became a nation, قوما بورا, a nation that is doomed to destruction. فَقَدْ كَذَّبُوكُمْ, they in fact deny you, بِمَا تَقُولُونَ, with whatever you say. فَمَا تَسْتَطِيعُونَ صَرْفًا وَلَا نَصْرًا, they will not be able to avert, or they will not be able to stop or even nor help. وَمَنْ يَظْلِمْ مِنْكُمْ, whoever transgresses amongst you, نُذِقْهُ عَذَابًا كَبِيرًا, will make him taste a great punishment. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا قَبْلَكَ مِنَ الْمُرْسَلِينَ, we did not send before you anybody except messengers. إِلَّا إِنَّهُمْ لَيَأْكُلُونَ الطَّعَامَ وَيَمْشُونَ فِي الْأَسْوَاقِ, that they used to eat food and they used to walk in the marketplaces. That they are saying, how come this messenger eats and walks in the marketplaces? Allah is saying, every messenger ate and they walked in marketplaces. They were with the people. فِي الْأَسْوَاقِ وَجَعَلْنَا بَعْضَكُمْ لِبَعْضٍ فِتْنَةً, and we have made some of you as trials for others. That some of you will be a trial for others, that you will prevent others from accepting the truth. That the reason why you don't want to accept the truth and follow Islam is because your wife doesn't want you to be too religious, or your family doesn't want you to become a Maulvi, or become a 5 times Namazi. They don't want that. So some of you are fitna for others. That Allah has made it like that. Allah is saying, "Atasbirun? Will you be patient? Will you persevere? Will you stay steadfast on your deen and not, lean towards them? Atasbirun? Wa kana rabbuka basira." And Allah is in full view of it. Sometimes you will think in your life, why is that person in my life? Why doesn't he get away from here, or she? Why doesn't that person leave my life? My life would have been so much better. Allah is saying, Allah has put that as a fitna, as a test for you. Allah wants to see, "Atasbirun? Will you be patient?" But Allah is in full view of what you're going through. وَقَالَ الَّذِينَ لَا يَرْجُونَ لِقَاءَنَا. And those people who don't hope for a meeting, who don't hope to meet us, لَوْلَا أُنزِلَ عَلَيْنَا الْمَلَائِكَةُ. They question, how come angels has not been sent down? أَوْ نَرَى رَبَّنَا. How come we're not able to see Allah? لَقَدْ اسْتَكْبَرُوا فِي أَنفُسِهِمْ. They have become arrogant within themselves. وَعَتَوْا عُتُوًّا كَبِيرًا. And they have exceeded their limits in all ways. يَوْمَ يَرَوْنَ الْمَلَائِكَةَ. The day on which they want to see Jahannam, they want to see the angels, but the day they see the angels, لَا بُشْرَى يَوْمَئِذٍ لِلْمُجْرِمِينَ. It's not going to be a good news for the mujrimeen, for the sinful people. When you actually see them, وَيَقُولُونَ حِجْرًا مَحْجُورًا. All they will say is Hijra mahjura. Hijra mahjura is an expression that is used. Hijra means a huge boulder. Okay, mahjur is something that's stopping, it's a barrier. A huge boulder that's used as a barrier. So in wars, when the Arabs would go and fight, when they would see an enemy, when they are overpowered, when they know that they cannot defeat the enemy, they will call out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, saying, "Ya Allah, drop a huge boulder in front of us and between us and them, so that they can harm us." So it's an expression to show seeking protection, expression to seek protection. So when they see the angels, they'll say, "Hijra mahjura, Ya Allah, do something so we don't see this again." وَقَدِمْنَا إِلَى مَا عَمِلُوا مِنْ عَمَلٍ. And they will come forward and we will come and judge their deeds. They all will come with a lot of good deeds. مِنْ عَمَلٍ فَجَعَلْنَاهُ هَبَاءً مَنْثُورًا. We will turn all those deeds into dust particles. That they will do. They were thinking they were doing a lot of good deeds. They would come with a lot of good deeds and sadaqat and salah and all that. They will come and present. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take that and nullify all of it, because the intentions were not there, were not right. فَجَعَلْنَاهُ هَبَاءً مَنْثُورًا. And scattered dust particles. أَصْحَابُ الْجَنَّةِ. But the companions of Jannah, يَوْمَئِذٍ خَيْرٌ مُسْتَقَرًا. They are going to be in the best place. وَأَحْسَنُ مَقِيلًا. And they are going to be in a fairest, they are going to be the best in the resting place. وَيَوْمَ تَشَقَّقُ السَّمَاءُ بِالْغَمَامِ. On the day on which we are going to split the sky with the clouds. وَنُزِّلَ الْمَلَائِكَةُ تَنزِيلًا. And the angels will come down in succession. الْمُلْكُ يَوْمَئِذٍ الْحَقُّ لِلرَّحْمَنِ. The dominion and the kingdom on that day, the true dominion on that day, only belongs to the most merciful. وَكَانَ يَوْمًا عَلَى الْكَافِرِينَ عَسِيرًا. And that day is going to be very difficult on the disbelievers. وَيَوْمَ يَعَدُّ الظَّالِمُ عَلَى يَدَيْهِ. On that day, the transgressors will bite their hand. They will bite their hand. يَا لَيْتَنِي اتَّخَذْتُ مَعَ الرَّسُولِ سَبِيلًا. I wish I never took that person as my close friend besides a messenger. Right? These people, they will bite their fingers, like out of remorse, out of regret. Oh my God, that guy, I wish I never followed him on Instagram. Because of him, I followed and did everything. Because of him, I am misled. I wish I never took him as my friend besides a messenger. That because of that person, because of that family member, that because of that friend, I left all good opportunities. Ya waylata, woe to me, laytani lam attakhiz fulanan khalila. I wish I never took him as a friend. One of the biggest regret for people on the Day of Judgment is going to be bad friendship. That's why all the prophets ask us dua, al-hiqni bis-salihin, make us among the righteous people. And that's the dua we need to ask, and see who your friends are. That you are who your friends are, and you will follow their steps, and you will say, I wish I never followed them. لَقَدْ أَضَلَّنِي عَنِ الذِّكْرِ بَعْدَ إِذْ جَاءَنِي. He misled me from the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. بَعْدَ إِذْ جَاءَنِي. After it came to me. وَكَانَ الشَّيْطَانُ لِلْإِنسَانِ خَذُولًا. And shaitan is an arch betrayer of mankind. وَقَالَ الرَّسُولُ. And the messenger will say on the Day of Judgment, the people who don't follow the message, the people who don't live up to the Quran, messenger will stand up and he is going to speak against us. And what is he going to say? Ya Rabb, my master, inna qawmi, my nation, ittakhadhu hadha al-Qur'ana mahjura. They migrated away from the Quran. They took this Quran as something they took this Quran as a thing that should be avoided. They stayed away. They wrapped this Quran up in a nice cloth and put it on closet and took it down once a year in the month of Ramadan, or once when someone would pass away. That's it. They left this Quran. They did not make any effort to understand this book or apply it. هذا القرآن مهجورا. Who is he asking? He's making dua to Allah, and this is a messenger of Allah. Can his dua be rejected? The messenger, the same messenger who looked up to the sky, just looking up, changed the qibla for all people until the end of times. And imagine the same messenger is going to speak up and he's going to say, my nation has left the Quran. وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَا لِكُلِّ نَبِيٍّ عَدُوًّا مِنَ الْمُجْرِمِينَ. And that is how we have set an enemy for every prophet, from every sinful people, we have set an enemy for the prophets. وَكَفَى بِرَبِّكَ هَادِيًا وَنَصِيرًا. And Allah is sufficient as a guide and as a helper. So inshallah, we'll stop right there. We pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes us amongst the righteous people, that we choose our friends, and that we become those people who the Prophet says, these are my nation. Quran, here's the thing about the Quran. Quran never takes a neutral stance on the Day of Judgment. Quran is going to be hujjatul laka wa alayk. Quran is going to witness for you or is going to witness against us. So we pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make the Quran a witness for us. بسم الله والحمد لله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم صل وسلم على نبينا محمد. اللهم صل وسلم على نبينا محمد. اللهم صل وسلم على نبينا محمد. اللهم إنا نسألك بكل اسم هو لك سميت به نفسك أو أنزلته في كتابك أو علمته أحدا من خلقك أو استأثرت به في علم الغيب عندك أن تجعل القرآن العظيم ربيع قلوبنا ونور صدورنا وجلاء أحزاننا وذهاب همومنا وغمومنا وسابقنا ودليلنا إليك وإلى رضوانك وإلى جنتك جنات النعيم. In Jannah, when we go to Jannah, we'll say Alhamdulillah, and we'll say Manna Allahu alayna. Allah has favored us and protected us from fire, because that's what they're thinking about. Their whole life they're worried. And you see Umar radiallahu anh waking up his family for tahajjud. He was worried about his family, mushfiqeen. And you see Yaqub alayhi salam on his deathbed, he's saying, who will you worship after me? You see Ibrahim alayhi salam for his father, oh my father, worship one God, do not worship these idols. All the believers, and Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anh, he would say, if Allah makes me enter into Jannah and my one foot is in Jannah, the other foot is not in Jannah, I would be scared that someone will pull me out of it and question me for their rights. Right? These are the qualities of a believer, that they're always mushfiqeen. As opposed to a weak believer is like, alhamdulillah, I'm blessed, I'm guaranteed Jannah. They are not. بَلْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ. Allah says, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ هُمْ لِخَشْيَةِ رَبِّهِمْ مُشْفِقُونَ. They're always in fear. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ بِآيَاتِ رَبِّهِمْ يُؤْمِنُونَ. They are those who constantly believe in the ayat of their master. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ بِرَبِّهِمْ لَا يُشْرِكُونَ. And they don't do shirk with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْتُونَ مَا آتَوا وَقُلُوبُهُمْ وَجِلَةٌ أنهم إلى ربهم راجعون. And those people who give, and after spending, their hearts are still scared. They do a lot of khairat and sadaqat and spending, but their heart is still trembling. أنهم إلى ربهم راجعون. That they are going to go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That they don't know if the sadaqah is accepted. They're constantly looking for ways to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and never are they relaxed with what they have done. Ayah number 61, Surah An-Nur. أولئك يسارعون في الخيرات. Those are the ones who hasten into good things. وهم لها سابقون. And they are the ones who strive to be the first to attain it. They are striving to be there. وَلَا نُكَلِّفُ نَفْسًا إِلَّا وُسْعَهَا. No one will be burdened, no soul will be burdened more than its capacity. وَلَدَيْنَا كِتَابٌ. And we have a book of deeds. يَنْطِقُ بِالْحَقِّ. Which speaks the truth, will say exactly what your deeds were like. وَهُمْ لَا يُظْلَمُونَ. And they will not be wronged. بل قلوبهم في غمرة من هذا. But their hearts are in confusion of the fact that which is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is recording every single thing. Their hearts are in doubt of this. They don't actually believe that all the deeds are recorded in the book. وَلَهُمْ أَعْمَالٌ مِّن دُونِ ذَلِكَ. And they have deeds contrary to what they believe in. هُمْ لَهَا عَامِلُونَ. Which they are doing. حَتَّى إِذَا أَخَذْنَا مُتَّفْرِيهِمْ بِالْعَذَابِ. Until a point we will punish the affluent ones, the rich ones. Again, the same theme is brought again. The rich people and affluent ones, punishment will start from them, and they are the ones who are the most stubborn in accepting Islam. Bil-adab, with punishment. إِذَا هُمْ يَجْرَؤُونَ, and as soon as they see the punishment, they will start making dua for relief and for help. لَا تَجَأْرُوا الْيَوْمِ, do not seek any help today. إِنَّكُمْ مِنَّا لَا تُنصَرُونَ, you will not be given any help from us. قَدْ كَانَتْ آيَاتِي تُتْلَى عَلَيْكُمْ, verily my signs were recited, my ayat were recited unto you. فَكُنْتُمْ عَلَىٰ أَعْقَابِكُمْ تَنْكِصُونَ, but you used to turn on your heels. مُسْتَكْبِرِينَ بِهِ سَامِرًا, and you were being arrogant, and you were having your meetings in the night and making what? Tahjaroon, and making fun and poking fun at the Prophet ﷺ, speaking ill of the Quran. أَفَلَمْ يَدَّبَّرُوا الْقَوْلِ, in our context it could be speaking ill of any da'i that calls towards the good, speaking bad about that person. Tahjaroon, أَفَلَمْ يَدَّبَّرُوا الْقَوْلِ, do they not reflect over the Quran? أَمْ جَاءَهُمْ مَا لَمْ يَأْتِ آبَاءُهُمُ الْأَوَّلِينَ, or are they saying that the Quran أَمْ جَاءَهُمْ مَا لَمْ يَأْتِ آبَاءُهُمُ الْأَوَّلِينَ, or did something new come to them which did not come to their forefathers? What is the reason that they are not accepting? Why don't they reflect over the Quran? And this Quran has come before. The same message has come with previous prophets, and they brought the same message. What is the reason? أَمْ لَمْ يَعْرِفُوا رَسُولَهُمْ, or they don't recognize the messenger. They don't know who he is. That the Prophet ﷺ lived with them for 40 years. They knew him in and out, and they don't recognize him. فَهُمْ لَهُ مُنْكِرُونَ, and they are pretending not to know who this person is. أَمْ يَقُولُونَ بِهِ جِنَّةٌ, are they saying that he's insane, that he's mad? بَلْ جَاءَهُمُ الْحَقِّ, rather he has come with the truth. وَأَكْثَرُهُمْ لِلْحَقِّ كَارِهُونَ, but most people detest and hate the truth. That it's not about the message, right? So you don't like the truth, so you blame the person. So they say that he is mad because just few minutes or few months before, Prophet ﷺ was Sadiq al-Amin. Everybody trusted him. And he went up on a mountain and says, what do you think about me? They said, you are Sadiq al-Amin. You are the trustworthy one. And will you believe me if I say that an army is coming behind me, behind this mountain? And they all said yes. They trusted him. But as soon as the Quran came, they hated this message. They say, you are a mad person. You don't know what you're saying. وَلَوِ اتَّبَعَ الْحَقُّ أَهْوَاءَهُمْ لَفَسَدَتِ السَّمَاوَاتُ وَالْأَرْضُ مَنْ فِيهِنْ. Allah is saying that if the truth were to follow your desires, that if the truth was to follow your desires, then the heavens and the earth would have been spoiled, would have been corrupted, and everything in it. That if we were to follow what you want, what your desires want, بَلَدِينَاهُمْ بِذِكْرِهِمْ, rather the scripture, we have brought them the scripture, this message, فَهُمْ عَنْ ذِكْرِهِمْ مُعْرِضُونَ, but they are turning away from this message. تَسْأَلُهُمْ خَرْجًا, do you ask them for any tax, any reward in return for your da'ah? فَخَرَاجُ رَبِّكَ خَيْرٌ, Allah is saying, no, the payment and the tax of your master is much better. That you don't ask them for any tax or any payment, so Allah's reward is better for you. وَهُوَ خَيْرُ الرَّازِقِينَ, and He's the best of those who provide. وَإِنَّكَ لَتَدْعُوهُمْ إِلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ, Ya Rasulullah, you are calling them to the straight path. وَإِنَّ الَّذِينَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْآخِرَةِ, and indeed those people who don't believe in the hereafter, عَنِ الصِّرَاطِ لَنَاكِبُونَ, they are straying away from the straight path. وَلَوْ رَحِمْنَاهُمْ, and even if we had mercy on them, وَكَشَفْنَا مَا بِهِمْ مِنْ ضُرٍ, and we were to remove the distress they are in. And this is referring to the 7 years of famine that came in Makkah. 7 years of famine, just like the famine that came in the story of Yusuf ﷺ in Egypt. So that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala punished them. So Allah is saying, if we were to have mercy on them and remove كَشَفْنَا مَا بِهِمْ مِنْ ضُرٍ لَلَجُّوا فِي طُغْيَانِهِمْ يَعْمَهُونَ, they will still persist in their transgression blindly. Even if we were to help them out, they will not care. They will still continue in their transgressions. وَلَقَدْ أَخَذْنَاهُمْ بِالْعَذَابِ فَمَا اسْتَكَانُوا لِرَبِّهِمْ وَمَا يَتَضَرَّعُونَ, and the punishment is already there. The famine is already there, but they are not ready to surrender themselves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and nor do they want to humble themselves. حَتَّى إِذَا فَتَحْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ بَابًا, until we open a gate, ذَا عَذَابٍ شَدِيدٍ, a gate of punishment which is very severe. إِذَا هُمْ فِيهِ مُبْلِسُونَ, and they are going to be in mublisun, they will despair of all good, and they will be desperate for forgiveness. وَهُوَ الَّذِي أَنْشَأَكُمْ وَهُوَ الَّذِي أَنْشَأَ لَكُمْ, and Allah is the one who created for you السَّمْعَ, the hearing, وَالْأَبْصَارِ, and the eyes, وَالْأَفْئِدَةَ, and the hearts. قَلِيلًا مَا تَشْكُرُونَ, but you don't thank Allah at all. وَهُوَ الَّذِي ذَرَأَكُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ, and He is the one who scattered you in the land. وَإِلَيْهِ تُحْشَرُونَ, and you will be gathered to Him alone. وَهُوَ الَّذِي يُحْيِي وَيُمِيتُ, and He is the one who gives life and death. وَلَهُ اخْتِلَافُ اللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ, and to Him belongs the alternation of the night and day. أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ, will you not understand? بَلْ قَالُوا مِثْلَ مَا قَالَ الْأَوَّلُونَ, rather they say what the people before them has said. قَالُوا, what were they saying? أَإِذَا مِتْنَا وَكُنَّا تُرَابًا وَعِظَامًا أَإِنَّا لَمَبْعُوثُونَ, they are saying that is it that when we are dead and become dust and bones, that will be raised and resurrected? وَلَقَدْ وُعِدْنَا نَحْنُ وَآبَاؤُنَا هَذَا مِنْ قَبْلِ, and they're saying, yeah, we were told, so our forefathers were told the same thing. هَذَا مِنْ قَبْلِ إِنْ هَذَا إِلَّا أَسَاطِيرُ الْأَوَّلِينَ, this is just old news. Yeah, Prophet came and this old stuff, we don't believe in old stuff. This is all made up stories. قُلْ لِمَنِ الْأَرْضُ وَمَنْ فِيهَا إِن كُنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ, tell them, who owns, to whom belongs the earth and whatever is in it, if you know. In kuntum ta'lamun, sayaquluna lillah, they will say it is Allah. Qul afala tadhakkarun, then why do you not take heed? These Meccans, these disbelievers, even the mushrikeen today, the idol worshippers, the Hindus and Sikhs, whoever they are, they know that there's one supreme God, that one Allah who is controlling all of it. So you ask them, who controls the earth and everything in it? They will say, سيقولون لله, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أفلا تذكرون, then will you not take heed? قل, tell them, من رب السماوات السبع ورب العرش العظيم, who is the Lord of the seven heavens and the Lord of the great throne? سيقولون لله, they will say, for Allah, it belongs to Allah. قل أفلا تتقون, then will you not protect yourself and safeguard yourself from His punishment? قل من بيده ملكوت السماء ملكوت كل شيء, tell them, in whose hand is the dominion of everything. وهو يجير ولا يجار عليه, and the one who gives protection and he does not, and no protection can be given against him. Who is that? In kuntum ta'lamun, if you know. سيقولون لله, they will say to Allah. قل فأنا تسحرون, then how come you are turning away from it, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? بل أتيناهم بالحق, rather the truth has come. وإنهم لكاذبون, and they are indeed liars. ما اتخذ الله من ولد وما كان معه من إله, Allah has not taken any son and there is no God besides Him. Either, if that were to be the case, that there were multiple gods, لَذَهَبَ كُلُّ إِلَهٍ بِمَا خَلَقٍ, then every God would have taken a portion, would have gotten some control over one area, of different parts of the earth. وَلَعَلَى بَعْضُهُمْ عَلَى بَعْضٍ, and they would have excelled against each other, or fought against each other. لَعَلَى بَعْضُهُمْ عَلَى بَعْضٍ, they would have, every God would have gotten their own tribes and areas and fought each other for power. And that we see in human beings. And Allah is saying, if there were multiple gods, that you would have seen that. لَفَسَدَتَ, right? So subhanallah, glory to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. عَمَّا يَصِفُونَ, He is free from all they ascribe. عَالِمِ الْغَيْبِ وَالشَّهَادَةِ, He is the all-knowing of the unseen and the seen. فَتَعَالَى عَمَّا يُشْرِكُونَ, He is exalted, He is above what they associate. قُلْ رَبِّ إِمَّا تُرِيَنِي مَا يُوعَدُونَ, tell them, say, my Lord, إِمَّا تُرِيَنِي مَا يُوعَدُونَ, if you show them what you have promised them. إِمَّا تُرِيَنِي مَا يُوعَدُونَ, that if you show them, Ya Allah, of what you have promised them of punishment, رَبِّ فَلَا تَجْعَلْنِي فِي الْقَوْمِ الظَّالِمِينَ, do not make me among the transgressing nation. The Prophet ﷺ is told to say that if the punishment does come on them, Ya Allah, do not make me among these people. Do not make me among these people. So righteous people should not will for Allah's punishment, should not want for Allah's punishment. Because when Allah's punishment comes, it does not only affect the evil people, it affects everybody. So when natural disasters come, they don't just pick the disobedient ones, it takes everybody away. So we should not want for it, and you should make dua that does not come on you. وَإِنَّا عَلَىٰ أَن نُرِيَكَ مَا نَعِدُهُمْ لَقَادِرُونَ, and Allah says, surely we will show you what we have promised them, and we are fully capable of doing that. إِدْفَعْ بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ, repel evil with good. Whatever evil they're doing, reply them with good words. If someone says bad to you, you and makes fun of you, you say thank you, I love you, give them a gift. Right? That's the principle in the Quran. Repel evil with goodness. نَحْنُ أَعْلَمُ بِمَا يَصِفُونَ. And we are best aware of what they are ascribing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قُلْ رَبِّي أَعُوذُ بِكَ مِنْ هَمَزَاتِ الشَّيَاطِينَ. And say, my Lord, I seek refuge from the instigations and from the instigations of shayateen. وَأَعُوذُ بِكَ رَبِّ أَنْ يَحْضُرُونَ. I seek refuge by my Lord, أَنْ يَحْضُرُونَ, so that they come and visit me and appear in front of me. So this is when the shaitan instigate and put some evil thoughts in your heart. This is the dua to make. أعوذ بك من همزات الشياطين. I seek refuge from the whispers of shaitan. حتى إذا جاء أحدهم الموت. Ayah number 99, Surah An-Nur. Until جاء أحدهم الموت, until death comes to one of them. قال رب ارجعون. And he will say, my Lord, send me back to dunya. لعلي أعمل صالحا فيما ترك. So that I can do righteous deeds. فيما ترك, in what I have omitted, in the deeds I have left out. Ya Allah, send me back one last time so I can go and do those deeds. فَفِيمَا تَرَكْ كَلَّا. No, إِنَّهَا كَلِمَةٌ هُوَ قَائِلُهَا. These are just words you're saying. You don't mean these words, you're just saying it like that. وَمِنْ وَرَائِهِمْ بَرْزَخٌ. And behind you is a barrier. وَإِلَى يَوْمِ يُبْعَثُونَ. Until the day of resurrection. That there's a barrier between you're in the grave and the worldly life. You cannot go back to that life until the day of judgment. فَإِذَا نُفِخَ فِي الصُّورِ. And when the trumpet will be blown, فَلَا أَنْسَابَ بَيْنَهُمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ وَلَا يَتَسَاءَلُونَ. No ties of kinship will be there between anybody. All ties of kinship will be cut when the trumpet is blown. وَلَا يَتَسَاءَلُونَ. And no one will ask for each other. That mother will run from the son, and son will run from the father, from his spouse. All they will just run. وَأُمِّهِ وَأَبِي وَصَاحِبَتِي وَأَخِي. They will run. There will be no connection between anybody. فَمَنْ ثَقُلَتْ مَوَازِينُهُ. Whoever has their scales heavy, whoever's scales are heavy, فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. They are successful. Scales heavy means deeds that are made with good intention. Deeds that were done for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they had weight in them. They are successful. وَمَنْ خَفَّتْ مَوَازِينُهُ. And those scales that are light, that they did a lot of deeds, but the intentions were not there, so the deeds became haba' mansura, dust particles. They became light. فَأُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ خَسِرُوا أَنفُسَهُم. Those are the people who have lost themselves. فِي جَهَنَّمَ خَالِدُونَ. They're going to remain in Jahannam forever and ever. تَلْفَحُ وُجُوهَهُمُ النَّارِ. The fire is going to burn them, and the fire is going to burn their faces. وَهُمْ فِيهَا كَالِحُونَ. And they will remain in Jahannam in agony and pain. أَلَمْ تَكُنْ آيَاتِي تُتْلَى عَلَيْكُمْ. And then there, what's going to happen? The messenger, the Malik, right? The gatekeeper of Jahannam, he will speak, and people will speak in Jahannam. Say, these angels asking the people of Jahannam, أَلَمْ تَكُنْ آيَاتِي تُتْلَى عَلَيْكُمْ. Did my signs come to you? Did people recite my ayat onto you? فَكُنْتُمْ بِهَا تُكَذِّبُونَ. And they were denying it and making fun of it and turning away from it. قالوا, they will say, رَبَّنَا, our Rabb, غَلَبَتْ عَلَيْنَا شِقْوَتُنَا. Yes, our wretchedness and our own misfortune and misery and distress took over us. It's not, we couldn't do وَكُنَّا قَوْمًا ضَالِّينَ. And we were a nation that has gone astray. You see that when talking about misguidance, not just one person. It's a group that it's because of the group that you are misled. Right? كُنَّا قَوْمًا ضَالِّينَ. We were lost. رَبَّنَا, our Lord, أَخْرِجْنَا مِنْهَا. Take us out of Jahannam. فَإِنْ عُدْنَا. And if فَإِنْ عُدْنَا فَإِنَّا ظَالِمُونَ. Take it out of Jahannam and send us to dunya. And if we do not keep up our words, and عُدْنَا, meaning if you go back on disobedience, فَإِنَّا ظَالِمُونَ. Then we are transgressors. Now we see Jannah, Jahannam. Now we know what to do. Ya Allah, send us back so that we can do some good deeds. قَالَ اخْسَئُوا فِيهَا. Says, get away from here. Allah says, get away from here. وَلَا تُكَلِّمُونَ. No one, don't speak to me. إِنَّهُ كَانَ فَرِيقٌ مِّنْ عِبَادِي. Verily there was a group from my servants. يَقُولُونَ. They were saying, رَبَّنَا آمَنَّا فَاغْفِرْ لَنَا. They were saying, oh our Rabb, we believe and we seek your forgiveness. وَارْحَمْنَا. And have mercy on us. وَأَنْتَ خَيْرُ الرَّاحِمِينَ. And you're the best of those who show mercy. فَاتَّخَذْتُمُوهُمْ سِخْرِيًّا. And you were making fun of them. So Allah will tell them, get out of here, I don't want to talk to you. Because they were a group in dunya who were calling to Allah, who believed in Allah, and they were doing righteous deeds, and you were doing what? Sikhriyan. You were mocking at them, ridiculing them. Hatta ansawhum dhikri, to the point that you forgot my existence, you forgot my recital. Wa kuntum minhum tadhakun, and you were laughing at them. Inni jazaytuhum al-yawma bima sabaru. I've indeed rewarded them because of their patience. They were impatient over all this mockery, and they were fortified and patient. أَنَّهُمْ هُمُ الْفَائِزُونَ, and they are the ones who are successful, who are above you. قَالَ كَمْ لَبِثْتُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ عَدَدَ سِنِينَ. He will say, how long did you stay in the earth? How many years did you stay in the earth? قَالُوا, the reply would be, لَبِثْنَا يَوْمًا أَوْ بَعْضَ يَوْمٍ. We stayed for a day or part of a day. فَاسْأَلِ الْعَادِينَ. So ask the people who count, as those who count about this. Qala, and those who count, the mathematicians and the people who used to estimate, and those people will come up and say, إِلَّا بِثْتُمْ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. If you remain for a very short time, لَوْ أَنَّكُمْ كُنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. If only you know that in comparison, this dunya, this dunya, even if it's 100 years, whatever the years are, 100 in comparison to infinity is nothing. That you take a small number divided by infinity, it goes to zero. There's no comparison between dunya and hereafter. There's nothing. It's very, very little, right? It's almost zero, right? لَوْ كُنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. If only you know. قَلِيلًا أَفَحَسِبْتُمْ. Do you think that أَنَّمَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ عَبَثًا? Do you really think that we created you in vain? That there's no purpose to your creation? وَأَنَّكُمْ إِلَيْنَا لَا تُرْجَعُونَ. Did you really think that you will not be brought back to us? That you will not come back to us? فَتَعَالَى اللَّهُ الْمَلِكُ الْحَقِّ. Exalted is Allah, the King, the true King. لا إله إلا هو. There is no ilah except Him. رب العرش الكريم, the Lord of the noble throne. ومن يدعو مع الله إلها آخر. And those people who call on God besides Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, لا برهان له به. He has no proof, he has no evidence. فإنما حسابه عند ربي. That his account, his punishment will be with his Lord. إنه لا يفلح الكافرون. Verily the disbelievers will never ever succeed. وقل, and say, رب اغفر وارحم, my Lord, forgive me and have mercy on me. وأنت خير الراحمين, and you are the best of those who show mercy. So that brings us to the end of Surah Al-Muminoon. Again, this was a Makki surah. So again, conversation between disbelievers and believers, how the prophets came, how they were rejected, and what was the end of the believers, what was the end of the disbelievers. We pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes us amongst
ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم إنك عفو كريم تحب العفو فاعف عنا. اللهم إنك عفو كريم تحب العفو فاعف عنا. اللهم إنك عفو كريم تحب العفو فاعف عنا. اللهم أجرنا من النار. اللهم إنا نسألك جنة الفردوس. اللهم ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Alhamdulillah, we're almost done 2/3 of the Quran. We pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeps us steadfast and that we apply everything that we have studied. Inshallah. So it's a letter to the people of Kufa saying that teach your women Surah An-Nur. Teach your women Surah An-Nur. And this surah is mainly for the women. Talks about hijab, talks about the punishment for slandering someone, adultery and all that. And this surah is revealed in the 6th Hijri. It's a Madani surah, so we're coming to Madani surah after a while. So we're doing Makki, and this surah is going to be a bit different. The focus of Madani surah is not going to be one God, Tawheed. Right? It's not the focus because everybody is already Muslim. It's a Madani, in the Madani context. So hypocrisy is highlighted here. So that's what you see in Muslim Ummah, hypocrisy and social life. How a Muslim Ummah is supposed to live and maintain their laws. So we begin, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Nur means light because this surah says Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. So that's why it's called light. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Suratun anzalnaha wa faradnaha wa anzalna fiha ayatin bayyinat la'allakum tadhakkarun. تَفَكَّرُونَ. A surah that we have sent down, in it we have faradnaha, we have made things mandated, incumbent, mandatory, faradnaha. وَأَنزَلْنَا فِيهَا آيَاتٍ بَيِّنَاتٍ, and we have sent down clear ayat. The laws are very, very clear. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَذَكَّرُونَ, so that you may remember, you may take heed from these ayat that are coming. So Suratun is to show that amazing surah, right, in the beginning. So ayat number 2, الزَّانِيَةُ وَالزَّانِي فَاجْلِدُوا كُلَّ وَاحِدٍ مِّنْهُمَا مِئَةَ جَلْدَةٍ. The fornicatress and the fornicator, the woman who fornicates and the man who fornicates. فَاجْلِدُوا كُلَّ وَاحِدٍ مِّنْهُمَا مِئَةَ جَلْدَةٍ. Flog each of them with 100 lashes. وَلَا تَأْخُذْكُمْ بِهِمَا رَأْفَةٌ فِي دِينِ اللَّهِ. Let compassion not take you, not stop you from obeying and doing and obeying and following the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إِن كُنْتُمْ تُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ, if you believe in Allah and the last day. وَلْيَشْهَدْ عَذَابَهُمَا طَائِفَةٌ مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ, and the punishment of the two should be witnessed by a group of believers. So this is a punishment for anybody who has a illicit relationship. And these are obviously people who have not married, right? These are single and they are not married yet, and they commit zina, they commit adultery. Each one of them should be flogged 100 lashes. 100 lashes should be given for each one of them. And for those who are married and then they commit zina, then the punishment is stoning to death. It's not mentioned here. The hukum is there, the recitation is removed. And we see that here, this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, az-zaniyatu. The woman is mentioned first. Usually it's man and woman, but here the woman who commits adultery and then the man who commits adultery. What we see here is that usually it's the woman who instigates and begins and initiates zina. That if the woman does not show and does not go ahead with it, the man will not approach it. And so it's usually the woman that opened the gate to zina. That's why the brothers and sons and fathers and husbands have to make sure that their women are covered and are behind and covered and behind a veil or a hijab. وَلَا تَأْخُذْكُمْ بِهِمَا رَأْفَةٌ. Do not, this is a severe punishment. And Allah is saying you should not show any compassion towards them, that they should be whipped and they should be stoned to death if they are married, because this is a severe punishment, because Islam came, one of the goal, the maqsad of Sharia is to preserve progeny, is to preserve lineage, and is to honor the izzah, honor as well, to preserve lineage and to preserve honor, ird. So by committing zina, those things are violated. So Allah is saying the punishment should be strong so that no one goes back to it. And a group of believers should do it, and this should be done in an open field where people can see them being punished, because then it's a lesson for others so that they don't do what they have done. الزاني لا ينكح إلا زانية أو مشركة. The fornicator does not marry anybody except a fornicatress. That a man who commits adultery, he is into it. He only marries someone marries a woman who's also into it, or mushrika, or a mushrik woman. وَالزَّانِيَةُ, same thing with the female, that the zaniyatu, the female, the fornicatress, لَا يَنْكِحُهَا إِلَّا زَانٍ أَوْ مُشْرِكٍ, that she marries only a man who's also into fornication or a mushrik. وَحُرِّمَ ذَلِكَ عَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ, and that is something that is unlawful on the believers. وَالَّذِينَ يَرْمُونَ الْمُحْصَنَاتِ, and those people who accuse chaste women, that they accuse innocent women, ثُمَّ لَمْ يَأْتُوا بِأَرْبَعَةِ شُهَدَاءَ, and they don't bring 4 witnesses. So someone accuses a woman of committing adultery, they should bring 4 witnesses to support that. If they don't bring 4 witnesses, فَجْلِدُوهُمْ ثَمَانِينَ جَلْدًا, then flog them 80 lashes. Right? Someone who accuses, this is qazf, right? This is qazf, someone who says something about a woman and does not bring proofs, give them 80 lashes. وَلَا تَقْبَلُوا لَهُمْ شَهَادَةً أَبَدًا, and never accept any testimony from them ever. وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْفَاسِقُونَ, and those are the people who are sinful and have crossed their boundaries. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ تَابُوا, except for those people who repent مِن بَعْدِ ذَلِكَ, after that, وَأَصْلَحُوا, and they rectify themselves. فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ, verily Allah is the most forgiving forgiving and most merciful. That they stop doing it and they rectify, then you can accept their shahada. وَالَّذِينَ يَرْمُونَ أَزْوَاجَهُم. There's a lot of li'an. وَالَّذِينَ يَرْمُونَ أَزْوَاجَهُم. And those people who accuse their wives, وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُمْ شُهَدَاء. And they don't have any witnesses, إِلَّا أَنفُسُهُم, except themselves. فَشَهَادَةُ أَحَدِهِمْ أَرْبَعُ شَهَادَاتٍ بِاللَّهِ. Then their witness, the testimony of one of them, shall be the testimony of 4 times by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So let's say a husband sees a wife doing something bad, and he has no proofs. He doesn't have 4 proofs. So what does he do? He has to do li'an. He has to take oath on Allah 4 times. That I swear by Allah, I saw her doing that. I swear by Allah, I saw her doing that. 4 times he will say this in the court. إِنَّهُ لَمِنَ الصَّادِقِينَ. That he is seeing the truth. Al-Khamisa, and the 5th time, what does he say? اللَّعْنَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْهِ إِنْ كَانَ مِنَ الْكَاذِبِينَ. And the 5th time he says, may the la'na of Allah be on him if he's a liar. That if I'm lying, may the curse of Allah be on me. So that's how he says. And then and this continues. وَيَدْرَوْ عَنْهَا الْعَذَابِ. And the woman can ward it off. Woman can also stop this. How can she prevent this? Al-azab, the punishment. أَن تَشْهَدَ أَرْبَعَ شَهَادَاتٍ بِاللَّهِ. That even she testifies 4 times. إِنَّهُ لَمِنَ الْكَاذِبِينَ. That he is lying. I swear by Allah 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 that he is lying. And then وَالْخَامِسَةِ, and the 5th time she says, أَنَّ غَضَبَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْهَا إِنْ كَانَ مِنَ الصَّادِقِينَ. And the 5th time she says, may the wrath of Allah be on her if he is truthful. If he is speaking the truth, may the wrath of Allah be on me. And then this is the punishment. And then obviously divorce happens. If both of them, if one says and the other person does not retract with the oaths, then she is going to be stoned to death. But if they both make this curse and this oath on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then divorce happens, they're separated, and then you let Allah's decree take over. وَلَوْلَا فَضْلُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ وَرَحْمَتُهُ. If it was not for Allah's favor and His mercy on you, what would have happened? The answer, the jawab al-shart, is not mentioned. To show that it is so serious that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't even mention. If it was not for Allah's favor on you, man, ... Right? Allah doesn't mention. وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ تَوَّابٌ حَكِيمٌ. Verily Allah is most forgiving and all wise. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ جَاءُوا. Now we get into the incident of ifk. Incident of ifk, this took place with Aisha radiallahu anha, and it applies to everybody. But before we go into that passage, I want to give you the background of it. So Aisha radiallahu anha was accompanied the Prophet ﷺ in the expedition against Banu al-Mustaliq, right? And so they were going, and on the way back, so Aisha radiallahu anha was in this hujra, in this room, this small thing that the 4 men would carry her around, right? She would not be exposed, she was covered, and they would carry her around. So what happened, they stopped somewhere for rest, and then Aisha radiallahu anha goes out for washroom, she comes back, and then she sits, and then she realizes that her necklace is missing. And so she goes out to find the necklace. In the meantime, the Prophet makes the announcement that the caravan should move. And so they start moving, and these 4 men, they saw her entering, they didn't see her leaving again to find the necklace. So they pick up the hujra and they start moving. And Aisha radiallahu anha is very light, so they couldn't see the difference whether she's there or not. So they picked up and they continued. And Aisha radiallahu anha searches, and she comes back, she realizes the caravan has gone. And so what does she do? She was a smart woman. She sits there. She does not go searching for them, because she knows that they will follow their traces back eventually and they will come back. So she just stays there, sits in for some time, and then she just falls asleep. And then the Prophet ﷺ was much smarter than Aisha radiallahu anha, mashallah. And what he would do in all these expeditions, have someone following them, like, a few hours behind, right? Following them, so that if somebody is missing or something is dropped, so someone dropped something, he can pick it up and come. And so Safwan radiallahu anhu was following, and he recognized Aisha radiallahu anha. Her hijab was uncovered a little bit, so he saw her when the hijab rules did not come. He recognized, and then he says, he makes a noise, and then she gets up, covers herself, and then Safwan radiallahu anh takes Aisha radiallahu anha to the caravan. And then they say that we did not speak for the entire journey. He did not speak a word to me, and I did not say anything to him. We only gestured and nothing else. No conversation took between us. They were maintaining hijab. And so they entered, and when they came into Medina, what happened is the hypocrite, the leader of the hypocrites, Abdullah bin Ubay ibn Salul, he sees Safwan radiallahu anhu, Aisha radiallahu anhu coming alone, and then he uses it as an opportunity to hurt the family of the Prophet ﷺ. And then what he does, he starts spreading rumors that something went between Safwan and Aisha radiallahu anha, and he starts spreading these rumors. And this became so, these rumors spread so fast that even some believers, some Badri Sahabis started believing in it and following, like Hassan bin Sabit. And we had Sahabas like Mista bin Uthatha. They were following and spreading these rumors without any ilm, without any certainty. And so that continued. And Aisha radiallahu anha, just fast forwarding, she was sick for some time. For 2 months she was sick, she could not come out. And after 2 months she came to know that the whole city is talking about her. And then she goes to Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet does not say anything to her because he didn't have any revelation. He couldn't say anything and to defend Aisha radiallahu anha. And so Aisha radiallahu anha goes to her mother's house, Abu Bakr's house, right? Their parents' house. And then there she, she's crying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and she does not sleep the whole night. She's crying, and then she says to Prophet ﷺ and Abu Bakr that if I say that I did not do, you will not believe in me. But if I say I did it, then you will believe in me. So I'm going to leave my case to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I don't need any of you to help me. And then she gets upset and turns away from everybody. And then at that time, the Prophet ﷺ gets these ayat of ifk. And then he announces his ayat to Aisha radiallahu anha. Aisha radiallahu anha she says, I thought Allah will kind of inspire the Prophet ﷺ somehow, but I did not expect Quranic ayat will be revealed talking about me. And so she felt special, and she says, is this forgiveness from you or from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And then he recites the ayat, and then Aisha radiallahu anha is happy to hear. And these are the ayat. So, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ جَاءُوا بِالْإِفْكِ, ifk is the slander, right? It's a slander that they did in Aisha radiallahu anha. Whoever came up with that slander, ifkum, عُصْبَةٌ مِّنْكُمْ, we're a group amongst you. لَا تَحْسَبُوهُ شَرًّا لَكُمْ, don't think that it is bad for you. بَلْ هُوَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ, rather it is good for you. لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مِّنْهُمْ مَا اكْتَسَبَ مِنَ الْإِثْمِ, every person will have a share of what the sin that he has acquired. That whoever is involved in it, in spreading this rumor, will have the punishment for doing that. And Allah is saying that yes, it looks bad from outside, but actually good for you, because ayat came down talking about you, and Allah has forgiven you. Allah came to defend you. What better honor can there be? وَالَّذِينَ تَوَلَّى كِبْرَهُ مِنْهُمْ لَهُ عَذَابٌ عَظِيمٌ, and the one who takes a major role in spreading these rumors will have a great punishment. وَلَوْلَا إِذْ سَمِعْتُمُوهُ ظَنَّ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ وَالْمُؤْمِنَاتُ بِأَنفُسِهِمْ خَيْرًا. When you heard this, Allah is saying, when you heard it, why didn't the believing men and believing women think good about themselves? When they heard this rumor, why didn't they first think about goodness instead of following that rumors? وَقَالُوا هَذَا إِفْكٌ مُبِينٌ, why didn't they say that this is a clear slander? You know when this kind of a scandal, something bad happens in the community, you'll have 3 groups, right? First group will be promoting that evil, right? And the other group will stop it, will go against it. And the third group will be quiet, and this is going to be the majority, that they're going to be quiet. You being quiet is equal to you supporting those criminals, those enemies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're supporting that rumor, if you being quiet. Allah is saying, why didn't they say? قَالُوا, why didn't they say هَذَا إِفْكٌ مُبِينٌ, that this is a clear slander? لَوْلَا جَاءُوا عَلَيْهِ بِأَرْبَعَةِ شُهَدَاء, why didn't they bring 4 witnesses? We talked about this. Well, you have to bring 4 witnesses. How come they didn't bring 4 witnesses? فَإِذْ لَمْ يَأْتُوا بِالشُّهَدَاء فَأُولَٰئِكَ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ هُمُ الْكَاذِبُونَ, if they did not bring 4 witnesses, then they are liars in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That even if that thing actually happened, and you saw it, but if you don't have 4 witnesses, you are still a liar. You're still a liar in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's Allah. وَلَوْلَا فَضْلُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ وَرَحْمَتُهُ, if it was not for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's favor upon you and His mercy, فِي الدُّنْيَا وَالْآخِرَةِ, in this dunya and the hereafter, لَمَسَّكُمْ فِي مَا أَفَضْتُمْ فِيهِ عَذَابٌ عَظِيمٌ, then a punishment would have afflicted you, a grave punishment would have afflicted you. But Allah's favor is that it did not come to you for doing that. إِسْتَلَقَوْنَهُ بِأَلْسِنَتِكُمْ, and when your tongues were passing these lies, إِسْتَلَقَوْنَهُ أَلْسِنَتِكُمْ, from one tongue to the other tongue, you were passing out these lies. وَتَقُولُونَ بِأَفْوَاهِكُمْ مَا لَيْسَ لَكُمْ بِهِ عِلْمٌ, and you were saying from your mouths that which you did not have knowledge of. وَتَحْسَبُونَهُ هَيِّنًا, and you thought that this is just a joke, that it's not, it's a light thing, you took it lightly. وَهُوَ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ عَظِيمٌ, but it's a grave thing in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَلَوْلَا إِذْ سَمِعْتُمُوهُ قُلْتُمْ
قُلْتُمْ, why didn't you, when you heard it, why didn't you say, مَا يَكُونُ لَنَا أَن نَتَكَلَّمَ بِهَذَا? It is not appropriate that we talk like this, we talk about this like this. سُبْحَانَكَ هَذَا بُهْتَانٌ عَظِيمٌ. Why didn't you say, glory to you, Ya Allah, هَذَا بُهْتَانٌ عَظِيمٌ. This is a clear slander. This is a clear slander. يَعِذُكُمُ اللَّهُ. Allah advises you, أَن تَعُودُوا لِمِثْلِهِ أَبَدًا. Allah advises you that you don't return to this kind of attitude again. In kuntum mu'mineen, if you are believers. And a lot of times this happens in the community. Something happens, someone just overheard and it spreads. It happens every day in our school, mashallah. Right? It happens every day. That something happens and then the whole school knows about it. It's not just our school, any school. That's how it is, and that starts from the kids and it grows like that within the communities. And they speak in their gatherings. That's all they do. That's all they do when they go and when you have get-togethers. But what happens? Did you hear what happened? I heard this thing too. And they speak as if this is a reality. As if this reality. Do you think this is hyena? But it's a great thing. If Allah wanted, a great punishment would have come for doing that. Slander, there's 7 major sins and one of them is slandering. Slandering is a major sin. Don't take it lightly. وَيُبَيِّنُ اللَّهُ لَكُمُ الْآيَاتِ. And Allah clarifies the ayat to you. وَاللَّهُ عَلِيمٌ حَكِيمٌ. And Allah is all-knowing and all-wise. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يُحِبُّونَ أَن تَشِيعَ الْفَاحِشَةَ. Verily, those people who love that fahisha, this scandal and this evil should spread, فِي الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, about those who believe, لَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. They will have a painful punishment فِي الدُّنْيَا وَالْآخِرَةِ. In this dunya and in the hereafter. وَاللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ وَأَنْتُمْ لَا تعلمون. And Allah knows what you do not know. وَلَوْلَا فَضْلُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ وَرَحْمَتُهُ. And if it was not for Allah's favor and His mercy on you, ... وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ رَءُوفٌ رَحِيمٌ. And Allah is most kind and most merciful. يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, O you who have believed, لَا تَتَّبِعُوا خُطُوَاتِ الشَّيْطَانِ. Do not follow the footsteps of shaitan. وَمَنْ يَتَّبِعْ خُطُوَاتِ الشَّيْطَانِ. Whoever follows the footsteps of shaitan, فَإِنَّهُ يَأْمُرُ بِالْفَحْشَاءِ وَالْمُنْكَرِ. He only calls him for fahsha, for indecent acts, and munkar, and evil. وَلَوْلَا فَضْلُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ وَرَحْمَتُهُ. If it was not for Allah's favor and His mercy on you, مَا زَكَى منكم من أحد أبدا. No one would have been purified ever. ولكن الله يزكي من يشاء. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala purifies whomever He wills. That when we want to purify ourselves, know that it's Allah who purifies whomever He wills. That tazkiyah, that you guarding your shame, you staying away from evil, it's only in the hands of Allah. Wallahu samiyun alim. And Allah is all hearing and all knowing. وَلَا يَأْتَلِ أُولُو الْفَضْلِ مِنْكُمْ. And it is not befitting the possessor of surplus, the possessor of wealth should not swear that minkum وَالسَّاعَةِ أَن يُؤْتُوا أُولِي الْقُرْبَى وَالْمَسَاكِينَ وَالْمُهَاجِرِينَ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. That he should not take oaths against giving to close relatives and poor and the immigrants in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is in the context of Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu. Abu Bakr was the father of Aisha radiallahu anhu. And Abu Bakr used to financially support Mistah bin Usatha. He used to support him and take care of him. And that person, Mistah bin Usatha, he was a Sahabi and he was involved in the slander of Aisha radiallahu anha. Imagine what goes through a father's mind, that I am giving him so much wealth, I am doing so much to him, and how dare he talks like that against my daughter. And any father can say, can go against him and beat him up and do all kinds of things. But what Abu Bakr does, he just does not give him, he stops his financial assistance. That's all he does. He cuts off the financial assistance and he stops it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and he comes to Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu, he talks about his actions. He says, you should not do that. It's not right that you stop giving, because what's the reason? Allah says, وَلْيَعْفُوا وَلْيَصْفَحُوا. And forgive them and overlook them. Why? أَلَا تُحِبُّونَ أَن يَغْفِرَ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ. Don't you want Allah to forgive you? Oh Abu Bakr, if you're not going to forgive this person, if you're not going to forgive the small mistakes of these human beings, how do you expect Allah to forgive your big sins? Allah tuhibbuna yaghfirullahu lakum. Don't you want Allah to forgive your sins? That when we do good to others, you're doing it because you want Allah's forgiveness. You have nothing to do with that person. That person can do the worst thing and say the worst thing against your family. You still do the good thing to them. Idfa' billati hiya ahsan. Very those people who slander pure women, muhsanat, chaste women, wal ghafilat, and and mindful ones, وَالْمُؤْمِنَاتِ and believing men, believing women, لُعِنُوا فِي الدُّنْيَا وَالْآخِرَةِ they will be cursed in this worldly life and in the hereafter. وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ عَظِيمٌ and they will have a grave punishment. يَوْمَ تَشْهَدُ عَلَيْهِمْ the day on which تشهد عليهم ألسنتهم وأيديهم وأرجلهم بما كانوا يعملون the day on which their tongues and their hands and their legs will testify against what they were doing. يومئذ يوفيهم الله دينهم الحق and that day Allah will give them in full their award ويعلمون أن الله هو الحق المبين and they will know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the true هو الحق المبين, the truth and the clear one. الخبيثات للخبيثين bad women or for bad men. والخبيثون للخبيثات and bad men or for bad women. والطيبات للطيبين and good women or for good men. والطيبون للطيبات and good men or for good women. أولئك مبرؤون مما يقولون they are innocent of what they say. لهم مغفرة ورزق كريم they will have forgiveness and a noble provision. What we see here is that good men will be attracted to good women and evil women who are khabith, they will only be attracted to khabith women. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O you who have believed, la tadkhulu buyutan. Another Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings in here that O you who have believed, do not enter buyutan ghayra buyutikum. Do not enter houses other than yours. That don't enter the houses which are not yours حتى تستأنسوا until you seek permission وتسلموا على أهلها and greet the people who are in it. That Allah is saying here that when you go to anybody's house, seek their permission. Buyut doesn't have to be house, could be anybody's private space. And you enter someone's bedroom, you have to make sure you تستأنسوا. You first seek permission before coming, and as soon as when you enter, you say salam. ذلكم خير لكم لعلكم تذكرون. That is better that you take heed. فَلَمْ تَجِدُوا فِيهَا أَحَدًا and if you see and if you don't find anybody فَلَا تَدْخُلُوهَا حَتَّى يُؤْذَنَ لَكُمْ don't enter it until you're given the permission. That there's a bedroom, a private space, the person is not at home, but you cannot enter their bedrooms, even though they're not there until you seek their permission. You call them up and say, hey, I had to get something from your room, is it okay I go in and get it? And unless they give you the permission, then you enter. Don't enter before that. وَإِنْ قِيلَ لَكُمْ ارْجِعُوا فَارْجِعُوا that if you go to someone's house, you knock on their door, and they don't open the door, you ring 3 times, and after that, they don't open the door, even though you know they are inside. You see the car, you see lights, you see people, they don't open the door. After 3 knocks, you gotta leave. وَإِنْ قِيلَ لَكُمْ ارْجِعُوا فَارْجِعُوا if they tell you to go back, go back. That they don't want to open, they don't want to entertain you, don't stay there and blame them for not opening. It's their right. And first of all, you have to call before coming, right? Call and let them know you're coming, so that everybody knows and no one violates each other's law. هُوَ أَزْكَى لَكُمْ that is pure for you. وَاللَّهُ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ عَلِيمٌ and Allah is all knowing of what you do. What we see here is that Allah doesn't want you to interfere anybody in their private space, and that goes with phones as well, by the way, right? If someone has their phone, do not go into their phones and check what they're doing, who they're texting, and no, this is a private space. Their dealing is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah will take care, you advise them, but you have no right to go behind and hack their system and see what they're doing and all. No, huwa azka lakum, it's better for you, it's pure for you that you maintain the discipline and you maintain the purity from outside. لَيْسَ عَلَيْكُمْ جُنَاحٌ أَن تَدْخُلُوا بُيُوتًا غَيْرَ مَسْكُونَةٍ فِيهَا مَتَاعٌ لَكُمْ there is no sin upon you if you enter a house where nobody lives there. If you enter a house but nobody lives there, then there's no, as long as you have a reason to go in, فِيهَا مَتَاعٌ لَكُمْ then go and do your stuff and leave. وَاللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ مَا تَبْدُونَ وَمَا تَكْتُمُونَ and Allah knows what you express and what you conceal. قُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ tell the believing men يَغُضُّوا مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِمْ that they should lower their gazes وَيَحْفَظُوا فُرُوجَهُمْ and guard their private parts. So what we see here is that what you see, your eyesight, there's a direct link between your glances and your private parts. That a believer should not look and stare at a woman. And he should lower his gazes. And that's why when we have interaction, this is Allah's teaching how a man and woman are supposed to interact. First thing, you can't have interaction. It's okay. It's not like you have to not talk and stay like robots. It's okay to have interaction. But when you do have interaction, do not stare at them. Look from the side. Have a look and then look down. Don't look in their face, and so that you get attracted to them. يَحْفَظُ فُرُوجَهُمْ and guard their private parts. ذَلِكَ أَزْكَى لَهُمْ that is pure for them. إِنَّ اللَّهَ خَبِيرٌ بِمَا يَصْنَعُونَ. Allah is fully aware of what you do. وَقُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ. And also tell the believing women, يَغْضُضْنَ مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِنَ. They should also lower their gazes. وَيَحْفَظْنَ فُرُوجَهُنَ. And they should guard their private parts. وَلَا يُبْدِينَ زِينَتَهُنَّ إِلَّا مَا ظَهَرَ مِنْهَا. And they should not show their beauty. They should not show their adornment, their beauty, except what is already apparent. And Allah is saying, even when a woman is covered, she's already beautiful, but she should not expose it. إِلَّا مَا ظَهَرَ مِنْهَا. What is apparently beautiful, that is sufficient. But do not expose your zina to anybody, any men, except we see that's coming up next. وَلْيَضْرِبْنَ بِخُمُرِهِنَّ عَلَى جُيُوبِهِنَّ. And they should throw the head covering over their bosoms, or their breasts. So juyub is the pocket that you see in the middle. So they should throw their the cloth in the front. Back then, what used to happen is they used to cover their hair only, and they would cover in the back. The front part would be exposed, right, like apparent. So what they would do, Allah is telling them, وَلْيَضْرِبْنَا, untie it and throw it in the front, right? The front needs to be covered. وَلْيَضْرِبْنَا بِخُمُرِهِنَّ عَلَى جُيُوبِهِنَّ. Like a covering, apart from the clothes, there should be outer covering. وَلَا يُبْدِينَ زِينَتَهُنَّ. And they should not reveal their adornment. They should not show their hair and the beautification, except لِبُعُولَتِهِنْ, except to their husbands, أو آبائهن, or to their fathers, أو آباء بُعُولَتِهِنْ, or their fathers' husbands, أو أبنائهن, or to their sons, أو أبناء بُعُولَتِهِنْ, or their husbands' sons, أو إخوانهن, or their brothers, أو بني إخوانهن, or their brothers' sons, أو بني أخواتهن, or the sons of their sisters, أو نسائهن, or to the women, أو ما ملكت أيمانهن, or to their slave mates who are under them, أو التابعين, or أو التابعين غير أولي الإربة, and those men who don't have sexual urge. So غير أولي الإربة من الرجال. So who don't have sexual urge. So people who are really, really old, who have passed that age, or people who are mentally weak, right, mentally handicapped. These people are excused. You can show your zina to them. غير أولي الإربة من الرجال أو الطفل الذين لم يظهروا على عورات النساء. You can also show your beauty to those children who are not aware of women's private parts. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't set an age here. He just says as long as the child does not know, is not aware of this, then it's okay. But as soon as he knows, and now today because of these websites and all these culture, kids are getting to know these stuff very early. Like in grade 3, grade 4, they all know all of this stuff. So you have to stay, even they are considered, you cannot show the beauty even to them, because they're aware of the women's private parts. وَلَا يَضْرِبْنَ بِأَرْجُلِهِنْ. And they should not strike their feet on the ground. لِيُعْلَمَ مَا يُخْفِينَ مِنْ زِينَتِهِنْ. To show what the height of their beauty. Back then they would walk, like heels, right? When you walk, they would make this sound to get attractive men. Right? As Allah is saying, do not walk in a way that directs attention. This also applies perfume. Right? Do not have anything that attracts the men. Right? Attracts the attention of the men. مَا يُخْفِينَ مِنْ زِينَتِهِنْ وَتُوبُوا إِلَى اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا. So all of you turn forgiveness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is all encompassing and all knowing. وَلْيَسْتَعْفِفِ الَّذِينَ لَا يَجِدُونَ نِكَاحًا. And those people who cannot marry, who don't have the financial means and who don't have the physical means, they cannot marry, they should remain chaste. They should cover and remain steadfast. And the Prophet ﷺ mentions that they should fast. They should fast because fasting is going to cool down their passion. Right? Passion is a word that we understand. وَلْيَسْتَعْفِفِ الَّذِينَ لَا يَجِدُونَ نِكَاحًا حَتَّى يُغْنِيهِمُ اللَّهُ مِنْ فَضْلِهِ. Until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enriches them from His bounty. وَالَّذِينَ يَبْتَغُونَ الْكِتَابَ مِمَّا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُكُمْ. And those people who seek the book from you, مِمَّا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُكُمْ, from your slave mates, فَكَاتِبُوهُمْ إِنْ عَلِمْتُمْ فِيهِمْ خَيْرًا. Then write for them if it is good for them. This is saying that if they seek freedom, then give it to them. Right? Allow them to be free if you are able to. وَآتُوهُمْ مِنْ مَالِ اللَّهِ الَّذِي آتَاكُمْ. And give them from the wealth that Allah has given you. وَلَا تُكْرِهُ فَتَيَاتِكُمْ عَلَى الْبِغَاءِ إِنْ أَرَدْنَا تَحَصُّنًا. Do not compel your slave mates into prostitution. Do not force them into committing illicit relationship. إِنْ أَرَدْنَا تَحَصُّنًا. If they desire to remain chaste. لِتَبْتَغُوا عَرْضَ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا. You seeking
be this worldly life, the desire of this, the temporal thing of this worldly life. وَمَنْ يُكْرِهُنَّ, and whoever compels them into doing that act, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ مِنْ بَعْدِ إِكْرَاهِهِنَّ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ, then verily Allah is going to forgive them. Those women, those slave maids who were forced into it, Allah is going to forgive them and have mercy on them. وَلَقَدْ أَنزَلْنَا إِلَيْكُمْ آيَاتٍ مُبَيِّنَاتٍ, verily we have sent down to you clear signs, clear ayat. وَمَثَلًا مِنَ الَّذِينَ خَلَوْا مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ, and the examples of those who have come before you. وَمَوْعِظَةً, and a heart penetrating advice. لِلْمُتَّقِينَ, for the people of taqwa. Allah Nur samawati wal ard, this is the ayah of Nur, where this surah is named after. Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. Allah Nur samawati wal ard. مثل نوره, the example of his light, كمشكاة فيها مصباح, is like a niche فيها مصباح. So it's hard to explain this. Inshallah, hopefully can explain this clearly. كمشكاة فيها مصباح, the example of this light is, imagine there's a mishkat. Mishkat is a hole in the wall, right? Mishkat is a niche, right? فيها مصباح, inside that niche there is a lamp. Back in the days, for them to have light, what they would do, they make a hole in the lamp, in the wall, and they would keep a lamp, and the light would reflect inside and like illuminate the entire room. So it's a niche. Inside the niche there is a lamp. The niche refers to the chest. Okay, imagine the chest. And fiha misbah, the lamp refers to the heart. Okay, al-misbah fi zujaja. This heart is fi zujaja, is in a glass. Right? Imagine that lamp is covered with a glass. That glass refers to the environment, the good environment. Az-zujajatu kannaha kawkabun. The glass is shining as if this is a bright star, durriyun. That when this heart has the right environment, it shines. It's really, really bright, right? Durriyun yuqad min shajara, and this lamp that is lighting, this heart that is illuminated. How is it lit? This lamp is lit min shajaratin mubarakah, is lit from a tree full of blessing. Zaytun, it's lit from a tree, an olive tree. La sharqiyatin wala gharbiyya, neither in the east nor in the west. That this oil is very special, that you cannot find this oil anywhere. Yakadu zaytuha yudhi'u walau lam tamsashu nar. First, Allah says this oil is unique. You cannot find it anywhere in the earth, neither in the east nor in the west. That refers to divine knowledge. So you have the heart, the chest of the believer, which is a niche, and inside that you have the misbah, the heart, and this heart has a glass, which is the environment that shines this heart, right? The whole thing is shining. And then this lamp has an oil, and this oil refers to divine knowledge. This oil refers to divine knowledge. As soon as there's oil, and this oil only comes from Allah, and you can't find this anywhere. So before even that oil comes close to this lamp, before even it touches that lamp, it illuminates without even the oil touching it. So the believer's heart is such that even without the wahi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's already bright. And as soon as a glimpse of the wahi of Allah comes, it was waiting for it, and it catches on quickly, and then becomes nurun ala nur. The light of the environment, the light that was already there, that light meets the light of the divine light, and then there's nurun ala nur, lightness upon light. And that is who a believer is. A believer is like that, nurun ala nur. Yahdillahu li nurihi man yasha. Allah guides to His light whomever He wants. Wa yadribu Allahu al-amthal lin-nas. Allah gives examples to the people. Wallahu bi kulli shay'in alim. And Allah is fully knowledgeable over all things. And who are these people whose hearts are illuminated, whose heart has light upon light? Who are these people? Fi buyutin adhin Allah. They are those who are in the houses in which Allah is permitted to be raised, where Allah should be mentioned. These are people praying in the masajid. Fi buyut refers to the masajid. Adhin Allah an turfa'a wa yudhkara fiha ismuhu, and they are raising and remembering His name. Yusabbihu lahu fiha bil ghudubi wal asal. They are praising Him morning and evening. Rijalun, they are men. La tulhihim tijaratun, they are not distracted by the trade or the selling of this worldly life, and dhikrillah, from the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The trade and business does not prevent them from the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wa iqamis salah wa ita'iz zakah, and that does not stop them from establishing salah and giving zakah. Yakhafuna yawman, they are those who fear a day tataqallabu fihi al-qulub wal absar, a day where the hearts
and eyes shall be overturned, will be in fear. They fear that day. لِيَجْزِيَهُمُ اللَّهُ أَحْسَنَ مَا عَمِلُوا, so that Allah rewards them for the best of what they used to do. وَيَزِيدَهُم مِّن فَضْلِهِ, and He increases them with His favors. وَاللَّهُ يَرْزُقُ مَن يَشَاءُ بِغَيْرِ حِسَابٍ, and Allah increases them in His bounties, whomever He wills, without any hisab. وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, on the flip side, those people who disbelieve, أَعْمَالُهُمْ كَسَرَابٍ, their deeds are like a mirage, بِقِيعَةٍ, in a desert. Imagine you're traveling in a desert, you see some water, you see mirage. That's what a believer's deeds are like. بِقِيعَةٍ يَحْسَبُهُ الظَّمْآنُ مَاءً, and the thirsty one thinks that that's water. And then حَتَّى إِذَا جَاءَهُ, and when he reaches that site, لَمْ يَجِدْهُ شَيْئًا, he does not find anything. وَوَجَدَ اللَّهَ عِنْدَهُ, and he finds Allah by him. فَوَفَّاهُ حِسَابًا, and Allah pays him for his account. That he is doing all these good deeds thinking that Allah will reward him for that. But when he actually goes to the hereafter, he sees that there's nothing there. It was just a mirage, something he was thinking about, and he finds Allah, punishing him for his evil deeds. Wallahu sari'ul hisab, and Allah is quick in taking account. أَوْ كَظُلُمَاتٍ, or the example is like ظُلُمَات, like darknesses, فِي بَحْرِ اللُّجِّيِّ, in the depths of the sea. يَغْشَاهُ مَوْجٌ مِّن فَوْقِهِ مَوْجٌ, that sea has waves upon waves, darkness upon darkness. Min fawqihi sahab, and above that with those dark waves, you have clouds, large clouds. ظُلُمَاتٌ بَعْضُهَا فَوْقَ بَعْضٍ, they are inside layers of darkness, one on top of the other. A believer had nurun ala nur, a disbeliever is having zulumat ala zulumat. That zulumatun ba'duha fawqa ba'd, that his darknesses, he's confused, he's covered in darknesses. إِذَا أَخْرَجَ يَدَهُ, in that depth of those ocean, if he takes out his hand, لَمْ يَكَدْ يَرَاهَا, he is not able to see his hand, meaning he can't find guidance, he can't even see himself. That's how misguided he is. وَمَنْ لَمْ يَجْعَلِ اللَّهُ لَهُ نُورٍ فَمَا لَهُ مِن نُورٍ, and whoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not give the light, he does not have any light, he cannot have any light. What we see is Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. That light of guidance is only in the hands of Allah. He guides whomever He wants. Whomever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides, He has the light, and whoever Allah doesn't want, He will not have. And the people of light have those characteristics of them praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and them not getting distracted by the establishment of salah and giving zakah. We pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes us among these people. So it's time for salah, inshallah. Let's establish salah, then we'll continue after salah. The birds opening their wings outspread are praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, doing His tasbih. كُلٌّ قَدْ عَلِمَ صَلَاتَهُ وَتَسْبِيحًا, every single one knows his prayers and his way of glorifying Allah. وَاللَّهُ عَلِيمٌ بِمَا يَفْعَلُونَ, and Allah is all-knowing of what they do. وَلِلَّهِ مُلْكُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ, to Allah alone belongs whatever is in the dominion of the heavens and the earth. وَإِلَى اللَّهِ الْمَصِيرُ, and to Him everything will be returned. أَلَمْ تَرَى, did you see, أَنَّ اللَّهَ يُزْجِي سَحَابٍ, that Allah is the one who drives the clouds, He moves the clouds. ثُمَّ يُؤَلِّفُ بَيْنَهُ, then He combines the clouds. ثُمَّ يَجْعَلُهُ رُكَامًا, and He piles them up and gathers them. فَتَرَى الْوَدَقَ يَخْرُجُ مِنْ خِلَالِهِ, and then you see the rains coming out from the middle, from its midst. وَيُنَزِّلُ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مِنْ جِبَالٍ, and you also see how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends down from the sky min jibal, mountain-like clouds. Fiha min barad, in it there is hail. Yusibu bihi man yasha, it strikes whomever He wills. Wa yasrifuhu amman yasha, He prevents whomever He wills. يَكَادُ سَنَا بَرْقِهِ يَذْهَبُ بِالْأَبْصَارِ, the flash of its lightning almost snatches their sight. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows how the same water is used as a mercy and punishment. The same water is used and the rain comes down, or the same cloud, actually the same cloud, the same process brings hailstone, and it can punish someone or hate someone whoever He wants. Here we see the Quran, same thing. The Quran is like the water. Quran can come and bring in mercy, or Quran can come and bring in punishment for those who reject it. يُقَلِّبُ اللَّهُ اللَّيْلَ وَالنَّهَارِ
Allah is the one who alternates the night and day. إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَعِبْرَةً لِأُولِي الْأَبْصَارِ. Verily there is a great lesson for people of insight. Allah خَلَقَ كُلَّ دَابَةٍ مِّن مَّاءٍ. Allah is the one who created every single creature from water. فَمِنْهُمْ مَن يَمْشِي عَلَى بَطْنِهِ. And from those creatures are some who walk on their bellies. وَمِنْهُمْ مَن يَمْشِي عَلَى رِجْلَيْنِ. And among them are those who walk on two legs. وَمِنْهُمْ مَن يَمْشِي عَلَى أَرْبَعٍ. And among them are those that walk on four legs. يَخْلُقُ مَا يَشَاءُ. Allah creates whatever He wills. إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. Verily Allah is fully capable over all things. You see how Allah is the Nur of the heavens and the earth? Because He is everywhere. He's controlling every single thing. Our hearts on earth and the creation in the sky and all around. وَلَقَدْ أَنزَلْنَا آيَاتٍ مُبَيِّنَاتٍ. And we have sent down clear ayat. وَاللَّهُ يَهْدِي مَن يَشَاءُ إِلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ. And Allah guides whomever He wants to the straight path. وَيَقُولُونَ. And they say, آمَنَّا بِاللَّهِ. We have believed in Allah. وَبِالرَّسُولِ. And in the messenger. وَأَطَعْنَا. And we obey. ثُمَّ يَتَوَلَّى فَرِيقٌ مِّنْهُم مِّن بَعْدِ ذَلِكَ. But a group among them turns away after that. وَمَا أُولَٰئِكَ بِالْمُؤْمِنِينَ. And they are not believers at all. وَإِذَا دُعُوا إِلَى اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. And when they are called to Allah and His messenger, لِيَحْكُمَ بَيْنَهُم. So that He might judge between them. إِذَا فَرِيقٌ مِّنْهُم مُعْرِضُونَ. And a group among them turns away. وَإِن يَكُنْ لَهُمُ الْحَقُّ. And if there is any benefit in that judgment for them, يَأْتُوا إِلَيْهِ مُذْعِنِينَ. They come to Him in submission. That when there is good, they come and follow Islam. When there is something difficult, they turn away. And number 50, Surah An-Nur. أَفِي قُلُوبِهِمْ مَرَضٌ. Is there disease in their hearts? أَمِ ارْتَابُوا. Or are they in doubts? Are they entertaining doubts? أَمْ يَخَافُونَ أَن يَحِيفَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِمْ وَرَسُولُهُ. Or do they fear that Allah will deal with them unjustly against them and His messenger? بَلْ أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ. But they are the transgressors. So first you have Nurun ala Nur, right? The hearts that are filled with the light, the divine light of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they do all the Qam salah, all that. And then you have the second, Zulumat, the disbelievers. They don't have Nur at all. And the third one is the hypocrites. They are those who have doubt in their hearts and they fear that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will deal with them unjustly. Those are the wrongdoers. And these are the hypocrites, and they are those who take the law, according to their desire. Whatever they feel like, they take it. Ayah number 51, Surah An-Nur. إِنَّمَا كَانَ قَوْلَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Verily the saying of the believers is إِذَا دُعُوا إِلَى اللَّهِ. When they are called to Allah and His messenger, لِيَحْكُمَ بَيْنَهُمْ. That He might judge between them. أَن يَقُولُوا. What do they say? سَمِعْنَا وَأَطَعْنَا. When they are called to Allah and His messenger, what they say is سَمِعْنَا وَأَطَعْنَا. We hear and we obey. وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. And those are the successful ones. Okay. إذا قرأت القرآن فاستعذ بالله. Right? وإذا قرئ القرآن فاستمعوا له. Okay. So listen to it. If you don't want to listen, you can leave. So don't talk. Let's disrespect to the Quran. Okay. Not me, to the Quran. وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. Those are the successful ones. وَمَنْ يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ. And whoever obeys Allah and His messenger, وَيَخْشَى اللَّهَ. And fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَيَتَّقِهِ. And he guards himself against Him, فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْفَائِزُونَ. Those are the successful ones. وَقَسَمُوا بِاللَّهِ جَهْدَ أَيْمَانِهِمْ. And they take their emphatic oath by Allah, لَإِنْ أَمَرْتَهُمْ لَيَخْرُجُونَ. They take an oath saying, if you order us to go and fight, we will fight, we will come out. قُلْ لَا تُقْسِمُوا. Tell them, do not swear. Hypocrites always swear. طَاعَةٌ مَعْرُوفَةٌ. Obedience is known. That if you are obeying, you will show it. إِنَّ اللَّهَ خَبِيرٌ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ. Verily Allah is all aware of what you do. قُلْ أَطِيعُوا اللَّهَ وَأَطِيعُوا الرَّسُولَ. Say, obey Allah and His messenger. فَإِن تَوَلَّوْا. If you turn away, فَإِنَّمَا عَلَيْهِ مَا حُمِّلَ. Then he will have what he will carry the burden of his sins. وَعَلَيْكُمْ مَا حُمِّلْتُمْ. And you will have what you carry from your sins. وَإِن تُطِيعُوهُ تَهْتَدُوا. And if you obey Him, you will be committed to guidance. وَمَا عَلَى الرَّسُولِ إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ الْمُبِينَ. The job of a messenger is only to convey a clear message. Ayah number 55. This ayah is really important, and I love this ayah. Allah says, وَعَدَ اللَّهِ. Allah has promised, الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ. Those people who believe amongst you, وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. And do righteous deeds, لَيَسْتَخْلِفَنَّهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ. He will make you successful in the land. He will make you khalifas on the land. كَمَا اسْتَخْلَفَ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ. Like the way He succeeded before people before you. وَلَيُمَكِّنَنَّ لَهُمْ. Second promise of Allah, if you have iman and amil salihat, He will make you successful. Number two, لِيُمَكِّنَنَّ لَهُمْ دِينَهُمُ الَّذِي ارْتَضَى لَهُمْ. He will establish for them their religion, ارْتَضَى لَهُمْ, which He's approved of. He will make Islam satisfied for them, and He will establish them on the land. وَلَيُبَدِّلَنَّهُمْ, number 3, وَلَيُبَدِّلَنَّهُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ خَوْفِهِمْ أَمْنًا. He is going to exchange, replace fear with security. Right now you're scared, but if you have iman and do righteous deeds, Allah will replace that fear with security. لا يعبدونني, worship me. What is the condition? You have to worship me sincerely. ولا يشركون بي شيئا, do not associate anybody with me. ومن كفر بعد ذلك, and whoever turns away after that, فأولئك هم الفاسقون, those are the people who have crossed the boundaries. وأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة, and establish salah and give zakah. وأطيعوا الرسول, and obey the messenger. لعلكم ترحمون, so you may be shown mercy. This is the ayah in Madani surah. A big focus is following the messenger. This came after Ahzab, so whatever comes after, follow him in everything. لا تحسبن الذين كفروا معجزين في الأرض. Don't think that the disbelievers can weaken you in the land. Disbelievers can do anything to you. وَمَأْوَاهُمُ النَّارِ, their place is Jahannam. وَلَبِئْسَ الْمَصِيرُ, what a horrible destination that is. يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, O you who have believed, لِيَسْتَأْذِنْكُمُ الَّذِينَ مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُكُمْ, and those people who have the slave maids should seek your permission. وَالَّذِينَ لَمْ يَبْلُغُوا الْحُلُمَ مِنْكُمْ ثَلَاثَ مَرَّاتٍ, and those who have not reached the age of puberty should seek your permission. ثَلَاثَ مَرَّاتٍ. So this ayah is when the mother and father, the husband and wife are in the bedroom, and Allah is telling to the kids and the slave maids that they cannot enter the bedrooms in 3 occasions, at 3 times. You should not enter their rooms. ثلاث مرات, 3 times. قبل صلاة الفجر, before صلاة الفجر, do not enter without seeking permission. Not at all. قبل صلاة الفجر. وحين تضعون ثيابكم من الظهيرة, and at the time, the afternoon time, when you put your clothes, when you are a bit noon time and you are a bit relaxed with your clothing, and you take an afternoon nap, at that time, ومن بعد صلاة العشاء, and after صلاة العشاء. ثلاث عورات لكم. These are 3 hours of privacy for you. ليس عليكم جناح. These are, we should teach our kids all of these things, that you cannot enter this place at this time. All of these manners Allah is teaching us, and this should be taught to those who have not reached that age, and they should not enter without permission. ليس عليكم ولا عليهم جناح بعضهن. There is no sin on you on other times. Other than these 3 times, it's okay for you to come. طوافون عليكم بعضكم على بعض. You are going around, you have to keep coming in and out. You cannot ask permission every time. But these 3 times, absolutely no. على بعض كذلك يبين الله لكم الآيات. These are the ayat that Allah clarifies to you. Wallahu alimun hakim, and Allah is all-knowing and all-wise. وَإِذَا بَلَغَ الْأَطْفَالُ مِنْكُمُ الْحُلُمِ, when your children reach the age of puberty, فَلْيَسْتَأْذِنُوا كَمَا اسْتَأْذَنَ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ, they should seek permission to enter your rooms. They should seek permission before coming in, like the way the elders before them were seeking. كَذَلِكَ يُبَيِّنُ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ آيَاتِهِ, and that is how Allah clarifies His ayah. Wallahu alimun hakim, Allah is all-knowing and all-wise. وَالْقَوَاعِدُ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ, and those women who have passed the age of reproduction, they are qawa'id, they don't have any urge for marriage. What can they do? الَّذِي لَا يَرْجُونَ نِكَاحًا, those who don't hope for any marriage or any nikah. فَلَيْسَ عَلَيْهِنَّ جُنَاحٌ, there is no sin upon them. أَن يَضَعْنَ ثِيَابَهُنْ, that they put down their clothes, غَيْرَ مُتَبَرِّجَاتٍ بِزِينَةٍ, without the intention of showing their beauty. That if somehow they don't cover their hair in front of men, it's okay. Right? As long as they don't have the intention of showing their beauty, they have passed the age, it's okay for them to not show. But Allah is saying, ثِيَابَهُنَّ غَيْرَ مُتَبَرِّجَاتٍ بِزِينَةٍ وَيَسْتَعْفِفْنَ خَيْرٌ لَهُنَّ, but if they cover, it's better for them. وَاللَّهُ سَمِيعٌ عَلِيمٌ, and Allah is all-hearing and all-knowing. لَيْسَ عَلَى الْأَعْمَى حَرَجٌ, there is no sin upon the blind. وَلَا عَلَى الْأَعْرَجِ حَرَجٌ, there is no sin upon someone who limps. وَلَا عَلَى الْمَرِيضِ حَرَجٌ, there is no sin upon a sick person. وَلَا عَلَى أَنفُسِكُمْ, and there is no sin upon yourself. There's nothing upon you. أَن تَأْكُلُوا مِن بُيُوتِكُمْ, that you eat from your houses. That people felt uncomfortable eating with blind, lame, and sick people. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says there's no problem sitting with them and eating together. أَوْ بُيُوتِ آبَائِكُمْ, that you eat that you eat in your homes, or you eat in the house of your fathers, أو بيوت أمهاتكم, or you eat in the house of your mothers, أو بيوت إخوانكم, or the house إخوانكم, the houses of your brothers, أو بيوت أخواتكم, or you eat in the houses of your sisters, أو بيوت أعمامكم, the house of your paternal uncles, أو بيوت عماتكم, or the houses of your paternal aunts, أو بيوت أخوالكم, or the houses of your maternal uncles, أو بيوت خالاتكم, or the houses of your maternal aunts, أو ما ملكتم مفاتيحه, or those people who have the key to your home, who have control over your house, even there is no sin that they come into your house and eat, or you eat in their house. There's no problem. You can go and and eat together, because some people felt shy, and some people were hesitant to also especially eat with the blind and people who limp. Right? So they felt a bit uncomfortable. Allah saying there's no sin upon them that they eat anywhere here. People, أو ما ملكتم مفاتيحه أو صديقكم, or your friends. ليس عليكم جناح. There's no sin أن تأكلوا جميعا أو أشتاتا. There's no sin upon you if you eat together or you eat separately. Some people felt ashamed to eat alone. They always thought you have to always eat together. So Allah is saying there is no sin upon you if you eat alone or if you eat together. But the Prophet says obviously that there is barakah when you eat together. That's obviously better. But the law is you're allowed to eat alone. فَإِذَا دَخَلْتُمْ بُيُوتًا, and when you enter anybody's house, فَسَلِّمُوا عَلَى أَنفُسِكُمْ, send salam on yourself. Look at that. It doesn't say send salam on others, saying when you enter the house, send salam on yourself. Meaning that you go and say assalamu alaikum. When you say assalamu alaikum, they will say wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. What you just did is send salam on yourself actually. So it's a dua that you are sending peace and blessings upon yourself. Tahiyyatan min indillah. It's a greeting from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Mubarakatan tayyiba. It's a blessed and pure greeting. كَذَلِكَ يُبَيِّنُ اللَّهِ. That is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clarifies to you al-ayat, His signs, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ, so that you understand. إنما المؤمنون, indeed the believers are those الذين آمنوا بالله ورسوله. They are those who believe in Allah and His Messenger. وإذا كانوا معه على أمر جامع, and when they are together working for some task together, لم يذهبوا حتى يستأذنوا, they do not leave until they seek the Prophet ﷺ's permission. This is in the context of the Sahabas digging in the trench together. When they were digging in the trench together, what would happen is the hypocrite would sneak out, right? They would leave the digging and kind of just hide behind somewhere and without seeking Prophet ﷺ's permission. So Allah is saying if they seek permission for some affairs they have, فَأْذَنْ لِمَنْ شِئْتَ مِنْهُمْ, give them permission for what they have to do, وَاسْتَغْفِرْ لَهُمْ, and seek their forgiveness. إِنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ, verily Allah is most forgiving and most merciful. So here we see that a quality of a hypocrite is that he will not follow the command of a leader. And we see this in our community all the time, that one leader will give a command, but then people who are there with him, with that, the person is punished, but then other people kind of shake hand and like sympathize with him. It's okay, that leader is harsh, just let him. Like for example, if a principal gives a punishment to a student, right? So what happens then? The student is kind of sympathized. The teacher goes, some teachers go like, it's okay, yeah, the principal is harsh, don't worry about it, I'll take care of you. And then they sympathize with her or him. What they're actually doing is that they're telling that student that what you did is right and the leader is wrong. Right? Never ever do anything. Even though what you're doing may be right, it is still sinful because you're disobeying the leader. Right? In one of the battles, the Sahabas went against the leader. Even though these Sahabas were right, but because they went against the leader, the Prophet said, why did you disobey your leader? And disobeying the leader is disobeying Allah and His Messenger. Because Allah says, أَطِيعُوا اللَّهَ وَأَطِيعُوا الرَّسُولَ وَأُولِي الْأَمْرِ مِنْكُمْ. Obey Allah, His Messenger, and those people who put in charge of you. Right? And for us, it's a big problem that we don't want to follow a leader. We want to have our own ways. And Allah is saying, those are the hypocrites. لا تجعلوا دعاء الرسول بينكم كدعاء بعضكم بعضا. Don't think that the calling of the messenger is like you calling each other. That when the messenger calls you, it's not like any other person calling you. قد يعلم الله الذين يتسللون منكم لواذا.
And Allah already knows those people who are slipping away and taking shelter in the side. فَلْيَحْذَرِ الَّذِينَ يُخَالِفُونَ عَنْ أَمْرِهِ. That if you go against the Prophet ﷺ, if you go against the leader, then a fitna will come on you. أَوْ يُصِيبَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. Or a painful punishment will come. أَلَا, no doubt, إِنَّ لِلَّهِ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. To Allah belongs whatever is in the heavens and the earth. قَدْ يَعْلَمُ مَا أَنْتُمْ عَلَيْهِ. And He knows مَا أَنْتُمْ عَلَيْهِ, the state you were in. وَيَوْمَ يُرْجَعُونَ إِلَيْهِ.